Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Konoha regrets banishing Kid Naruto. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by a Mythifier Tornado 1 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. The undeserved price for loyalty, prelude. He walked through the rains towards an unknown destination. His blonde hair fell across his eyes, soaked with rain. His orange jumpsuit felt heavy from the rain and his movement was sluggish. Even though his ocean-deep blue eyes were hidden, you could see the sadness in his expression. Today he lost everything those were dear to him. First it was his so-called brother. Then again he was a traitor, thought venomously in his mind. He got what he deserved. Flashback. The retrieval team that went after the traitor Uchiha Sasuke returned successfully. Though 4 out of the 6 were critically injured, they were healing amazingly well thanks to the Godame Hokage the slug Sannin Tsunade. A member of that team possessing blonde hair now stood in front the door that his comrade was being held. It was easy to get past the guards being such perverts using the infamous Oiroke no Jutsu. He entered the room to see Sasuke. He was bound to his hospital bed. Sasuke turned to see who was visiting him and glared. He glared at the person who stopped him from obtaining the power he needed to avenge his clan. That person was Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto sighed at the glare and looked at him. Are you alright? Naruto asked. What do you think? Sasuke growled. Well, I did say that I was going to break your arms and legs. He joked. Sasuke struggled to get free from his bonds as he jerked forward. You think that this funny dope? Look what you did to me. Sasuke roared. I told you that I was not going to let you go to Orochimaru. I'm trying to protect you from him and yourself. Do you truly think that he would have given you the power to kill your brother without a price? Think about it, team. I'll kill you. Sasuke sneered. What? I'll kill you. If I ever see you again, I'll kill you. Damn it, Sasuke, I'm trying to help you. Naruto shouted. I don't need your help. I don't need Konoha. I don't need anything. The thing I need is power to kill my brother. That is all I care about and nothing else. You dare to lecture me? I'm an Avenger and you will always be a dope. Now get out of my sight. Sasuke yelled. He sighed sadly and turned to leave. Present. Then he lost his so-called first love. Flashback. Naruto waited at Team 7's meeting spot. He had gotten a letter from Sakura to meet him here. He did wait too long as Sakura came into view. Thinking that she was going to thank him for bringing Sasuke back as he kept his side of promise, he put on his usual foxy grin and walked to meet her. Hey, Sakura was as far as he got before he was slapped by her. His head reeled back and he had a shocked look on his face. How could you do that to Sasuke-kun? She yelled. I asked you to bring him back and you almost killed him. It's a miracle that he could still be a ninja after what you did to him courtesy of Godame-sama. I thought you were his friend. I hate you, Naruto. You're nothing but a monster. Get out of my sight. She turned and left. If she had stayed, she would have heard his heart breaking and moaning. Present. Then he lost his team. Flashback. After Sakura left, Kakashi came to view and told him, sorry Naruto. As much as I love your enthusiasm, I can't keep you in team though I want to retain you. This is due to the order of the Council of Konoha. Then he poofed out. But Naruto lost his sensei and his heart filled with hate for him and more prominently for the council. Present. Next the village turned against him. Flashback. Naruto hit the ground and slumped over. The group of adults looked at him with satisfied smirks. That's for the Uchiha, you little demon. You must die today for harassing our precious Uchiha-sama. Go rot in hell, you bastard demon. One said, and they left him on the ground. He could have fought back. He was a trained ninja after all, but they were villagers. He was to protect them, so he showed restraint. Lately, these beatings had gotten worse. They have also ransacked his apartment, and he was lonelier than ever. He felt a hand on his shoulder and flinched. When the hit never came, he opened his one good eye to see his sensei, the Gama, Toad, Sannin, Jiraiya. He also noticed that Konohamaru, Mogiai and Udon were with him. They had tears in their eyes and Jiraiya gave him a sigh. He carefully picked him up and took him to see Tsunade. Present. Lastly, he lost his dream. Flashback. Naruto sat before the council members, his eyes bruised and blackened, his hair muddy, his jumpsuit almost cut down and blood flowing all over the body because the council published an order for any medic to treat him, including his bachan, Tsunade. He knew that this would happen sooner or later. Word got out about the red chakra that he used in his fight against Sasuke and the council was not happy about it. At his side were Jiraiya, Tsunade and Irika. He was unhappy that Kakashi was not there, but it didn't come as a surprise. The man never really gave a damn, but he hoped at least he will defend him. But that never happened, he never showed up. But unknown to him, Kakashi was not allowed to speak or enter for this decision cause he could be biased, that's what the council thought. Then there were his so-called friends. With the exception of Hinata, everyone avoided him like the plague after they knew about the nine-tailed fox. He sighed and turned toward the losing battle that was going on, which would probably be his last for and against Konoha. How dare you do this to him? After all he has done, this is how you wish to treat the Yandame's sacrifice? Tsunade yelled. He is unstable. You saw what he did to Sasuke. He cannot control the fox. Said Hamaru. It was necessary. Sasuke attempted to kill him when he used Orochimaru's curse-sealed jutsu. Are you just going to ignore that? Iruka accused. You are stepping out of line, Chunin, Yamano Iruka. This is for the best for Konoha. Koharu said. You're just covering up for him with your hate for Naruto. Accused Jiraiya. Are you saying that we are being unfair, Jiraiya? Said Danzo. The minute that Naruto met this council member, he knew that this man was evil. He felt that he only lived for the pain and the suffering of people. Danzo realized that he was being watched by Naruto and glared at him. Naruto glared right back. He didn't take stuff for the other two elders and it wasn't different for this guy. I would advise you to watch who you glare at, boy. Danzo said. Like I care about who you are? Naruto said. Naruto, said Iruka. His anger is wild. Because of that, he can't control the Kyuubi's power. He is a danger to everyone. Danzo said. Tsunade was about to retort until she was cut off. I'm sorry, Tsunade, but our decision is final. Koharu said. She faced Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, you are hereby stripped of your rank and are banished from Konohagakure no Sato indefinitely. The council has spoken, rather ordered. You have to leave the village, before tomorrow morning. Council added. Present morning time, somewhere else in Konoha. In Hyuga compound at the same time everyone was present for the declaration of Hanabi Hyuga as the new Hyuga heiress after the untimely demise of Hyuga Hinata last evening. Flashback. A huge wildfire caught up to Hinata's room. Everything including Hinata were turned to ash after the council meeting finished, and by the time Hayashi could get home, it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and the news of Hinata Hyuga being dead after being caught in fire of Hyuga compound traveled like wildfire throughout the village of Konoha. But unbeknown to them, Hinata could not leave Naruto, her one and only love. So she planned an idea so that she won't be a missing nin of Konoha and could follow her Naruto-kun for his well-being. So she planned out her own death. And there was another reason, that was her so-called clan never respected her. For them, she was a weakling for trying to become a medic and due to her soft heart. So she decided to leave the village as well to accompany her love even if they would get lost in the cruel world. Thinking that she left Konoha just after Naruto and was following him till Wave Country for one night and one whole day without any remorse. Present. So now, a soaked Naruto walked toward a destination. He just took off in a random direction, not really caring where he was going. His first choice was to go to Suna, but that would cause problems for Gaara and Tsunade. He looked and saw that he at the entrance of a bridge. The bridge looked familiar to him. Looking at the sign, he saw something that gave him a shock. The Great Naruto Bridge was the title. Naruto had many questions running through his mind until a voice cut his train of thought. But he was so weak that he fell down suddenly, and was embraced by a pair of soft hands of a raven-haired pupilless-eyed girl of same age as him as he lost consciousness. After a few hours Naruto got his consciousness and heard some commotion. And turned his head. Naruto and Ai-chan? Naruto saw Inari with his mother, Tsunami. They walked up closer to get a better look. It is you, Naruto. How have you been? My god, you're soaked to the bone. What are you doing? She was cut off as Naruto hugged her with tears coming out of his eyes. She was very confused now and returned the hug. Inari wondered what was wrong with his hero. Then his eyes fell upon the same girl and Tsunami spoke. Naruto. You were so weak. It was because of this girl that we learned everything happened to you. Though we are in the middle of the discussion when you woke up. So we just learned that it's something related to your teammate's retrieval mission. Naruto could only say one thing after he saw Hinata. And in his mind there was one thing. Is this girl a new friend in his new life? Why and how are you here, Hinata-chan? To be continued. Now back to story. Naruto again fainted. Then Hinata told Inari and Tsunami about what she knew about the decision of council for Naruto. After listening that they were in tears. But while Hinata was describing all these, Tazuna was there at the doors and he too heard about all this and he was pissed off at the villagers and the council. Then he entered in the house and consoled Hinata for Naruto's predicament. After about 15 minutes Tazuna asked, Little girl, what you are saying is indeed very disappointing. But I am here to know exactly why you are here with him. As far as you told, you are not banished from the village. So what are you doing and how come nobody from your village is after such a fine bloodline bearer? Hinata looked down and said I am dead for my clan and my village. Suddenly all three asked say what? Then Hinata told them about how she was treated in family and how she plotted all of the plan but didn't tell them she did it for Naruto, instead told them her plan. Naruto's banishment are on same day is a coincidence, which didn't go unnoticed by Tazuna. He clearly saw through the false, and when Hinata finished everything he asked, gaining everyone's attention. Tell me, girl. From the story everything is believable except one. That is the coincidence part. So tell me truth. Hinata looked down. So Tazuna again said anyone else would think you are using Naruto to flee from village. But I am no ordinary old crone. I have seen many people and my hair got white from not just standing under the sun but from observing and manipulating many people. So I came to only this conclusion. You planned your death after hearing the boy's banishment, isn't it? You kept following him from the second he stepped out of your village? Not for your coincidence but to keep an eye on him. So tell me, girl, silence for a while, you love him a lot. Isn't it? He doesn't know about it, which I found out after I saw his reaction after he woke up. Am I right or am I right? Hearing all this, Inari Tsunami looked at Hinata, whose face was tomato red from all this hearing due to blushing, and eyes filled with tears cause she got caught. Then Tazuna smirked and said, I will take those expressions as a big yes. Everyone laughed. Then Tazuna again said, I have some more doubts, young lady? Hinata got serious and listened as Tazuna asked, how come a Hokage could not prohibit him from getting out? As far as I know from my experience, all Mazor village have Jinchurikis, and they are the ultimate military weapons. So how come a village just let its weapon to go out and nobody from Shinobi's side protested? Sure, the council has lot of powers, but the final decision is leaders. In your case, your Hokage has final say. How come she got overruled? So there are a lot to this than it seems from top. Don't you know anything? Hearing this, Hinata lowered her head and said no in a meek voice. Then Tazuna sighed and said, then we have to wait till Naruto wakes up. Besides, it's almost 7 in the evening. So, let's prepare ourselves for dinner, and everyone departed. Tsunami, Tazuna and Inari looked at the sleeping form that was Naruto. Then Tsunami changed his wet clothes and placed him in the spare room. But they didn't know that Naruto was awake the whole time, had heard all their discussions. So, he was heartbroken and at the same time was happy to know about Hinata's love was true towards him, and he was happy to know that in the godforsaken world somebody was there who was not selfish. So, he started crying, let go of all sadness within him, which didn't go unnoticed by anyone. Then they found him placing his hand on forehead, which Naruto placed to feel, not being a shinobi of leaf, but everyone else thought otherwise. I wonder what could have happened. He looked so broken and sad, but still no tears when we picked him up near the bridge. But what happened suddenly to make him cry? Tsunami said. I don't know. We will have to wait until he wakes up. I saw that he touched his forehead. It will take time for him to absorb the whole truth and to live without the leaf symbol. Tazuna said. I don't like this. It looks like he's having nightmares. Inari said. They watched as his eyes seemed to be moving around behind his eyelids. Like I said, we will have to wait and see. Let's let him rest. We will get our answers when he awakens. Tazuna said. He led them out before looking at his country's hero. What happened to the grinning, happy-go-lucky blonde? He sighed and walked out of the room, leaving Naruto to his loneliness. While everybody was out, Naruto recalled everything he heard, and while his body was under rest, there was huge cyclones of memories going on within his mindscape. He thought, Hinata loves me. Then realization hit him when he thought of all the time Hinata helped him whenever Sakura rejected or to console him, and then when after Chunin exam she treated him rather than going to her teammate Kiba. Then all the time in village he always felt someone familiar but ignored. It was Hinata all the time. Then he thought, why I was after Sakura, no, just Sakura. She was never there for me. The bastard was everything for her always. How come I was so oblivious to Hinata? Well, no more Sakura-chan, I will be yelling, at least not in front of Hinata-chan. I have to give her a chance, at least as a friend. Well, there is someone who truly loves me with all her heart even after knowing the truth. Then he proceeded to think of all the reasons why he was banished against the will of the Hokage. Then he processed every memory within his mindscape. After a few hours he came to understand about everything and went to sleep to give rest to his mind. Soon a new day came up. Naruto's eyes opened to see a ceiling. He turned towards the window as he heard some birds chirping. Their singing did little to ease the pain he was feeling. He returned from looking at the ceiling. He just stared at it with a dead expression on his face. Then he thought his dream was crushed, and his heart was broken. He had been betrayed by those he considered his family and friends. Those on the council had gotten their wish. His former home was probably still celebrating his banishment. Now, he was all alone and felt truly abandoned. Then again he met his true friends and well-wishers, and hopefully true love. Due to this incident only, ironically, his biggest punishment became his biggest achievement of life. And he must live with it. He sighed and slowly sat up. He wiped his eyes before looking off into space. He knew that Tazuna and his family would want an explanation. He slowly stood and made his way downstairs to where he smelled breakfast. Naruto sat with Tazuna and his family. Tsunami and Inari were sad while Tazuna had a disgusted look on his face. Naruto had just come down and greeted them while they were at breakfast table. After serving the breakfast, everyone including Hinata rounded up near the table and started eating silently. After a period of silence, Tazuna spoke. So they banished you because you did your duty? It seems that Konoha isn't as benevolent as they portray themselves to be. What I don't understand is how could they banish you? It couldn't be just because of Sasuke's condition that Tsunami started to ask and was cut down. Then Naruto decided to tell the full story and started speaking. 13 years ago, on the day of my birth, the Kyuubi no Yoko attacked my village and he was cut down by Tazuna. Kid, we know the full details of how what happened to you. If you had carefully listened you could get that I was asking how you were banished, not why. The Hokage could have stopped this filthy ordeal. Then after a few seconds of silence Hinata started to speak. When Naruto spoke, Hinata-chan, I overheard what Tazuna was speaking when you all were discussing. Hinata looked down when she thought maybe Naruto listened to her, and asked, so you heard everything? Naruto lied, well, not everything. I heard out from where Tazuna-san was throwing out his doubts. And I was thinking all night about all you doubts about Hokage's power, and I remembered a lot of memories before the Sasuke incident. Then Inari just left for school and everyone gathered. Hinata Tsunami were looking for an explanation as they had doubts. Then Naruto spoke. It was a cluster of incidents from which I came to the conclusion. Let me tell you first what exactly, and in which way happened lead to my banishment. Then Hinata told I have told everyone what happened. You don't have to tell again. Naruto said what you all know is truth, but it is half truth. Now I will tell what really happened. I am going to tell some secret things which I learned during all my pranks on all clans and civilians in the village. Flashback 1. Hokage Tower, Council Chamber. As Naruto entered the council chamber he could feel the tension that was in the air which seemed to suffocate the room. Taking a good look around he was able to see all those that were present. At the top in the center was Shimura Danzo. He was a manipulative man who would use other people and sacrifice them if it meant getting what he wanted. There were also rumors that he had worked with Orochimaru on occasion, but it was never proven, just like all rumors on the man. Naruto never liked him as he always tried to make him follow rules and tried to make him less likely towards human emotion. Naruto always felt negative vibes coming very strongly from that man. The two other elders either side of Danzo were Udatane Koharu and Mitokado Hamura, ex-teammates of Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage and advisors. Udatane Koharu holds the belief that the group is more important than any of its individual members. Because of this, she always tries to do what she thinks is the best for Konoha, even if it goes against the Hokage's or her opinion. She is also quite demure, but does not let this stop her from voicing her opinion. In fact, despite this, Koharu is one of the few people able to put the fifth Hokage in her place when she oversteps her authority. Like Hamura, she is more militant than the Hokage she served under have been, and sometimes leans more to Danzo's point of view. Hamura is somewhat of an authoritarian, but he always has the village's best interests in mind. Like Koharu, he is more militant than the Hokage he served under have been, and sometimes leans more towards Danzo's point of view. The others in the council were all the clan heads of the Hyuga, Inuzuka, Aburame, Akimichi, Nara, and Yamanaka. Hyuga Hayashi was a strange person. Sometimes he either hated nor liked Naruto, but once he defeated Niji he started to admire the boy as he defied fate, as one might say. He wanted to help Naruto then, but because of the laws placed around Naruto he was unable to do anything for the boy, leaving him to the wolves, one might say. Inuzuka-tsum had always liked Naruto because his personality was more like hers in every sense of the word. The fact that he had a feral look about him didn't do any justice either. But she too was stopped every time by the council and laws. Aburame Shibi had liked Naruto as he could relate with the boy, considering that his clan held bugs within their bodies much like Naruto holding in the Kyuubi. They weren't stupid to relate the two as they were two separate beings. Shibi had actually gained some sense of respect for the young blonde as he had been able to fight through all the insults, glares etc. when any lesser man would cave. The Inoshikacho trio had also always respected and liked the boy as they were probably the smartest clans out there. They could easily tell that the boy was the scroll and not the kunai. They had also liked Naruto for the simple fact their children admired him the more he grew up, which actually made them train harder than ever. They were all now sitting in their clan seats along with Tsunade in the Hokage seat. On the other side of the room sat the Naruto sensei as he had been told to come. And finally there was the civilian council consisting of 15 civilian clan heads, which was surprising considering that Konoha was Mazor Shinobi village, but in a majority number of clans were civilian clans, led by Haruno Mabuki, Sakura's mother. It was no secret that Mabuki was a gold digger when she was younger. Back in the academy, Mabuki always tried to bag the prominent future clans heads Hayashi, Fugaku, and Minato, but ultimately failed not only in seizing power but failed as a shinobi, leaving her with only fellow shinobi Failure Kizashi. After the Kyuubi attack, the council quickly passed new laws before the Sandaime was reinstated that allowed them more power over the village than the clan heads and Hokage, regarding certain matters when the advisors support them. Present time. Now you could understand what kind of rusty people are there in Konoha council. Now on to the bad mouthing I got. Flashback 2. Danzo, looking as Naruto with narrowed eyes, spoke up. Do you know the reason for why you've been called? He asked the confused blonde-haired boy who blinked at him. Not really, I was just told I had to come here. Naruto explained with a raised eyebrow as if asking why he was here. Danzo for a moment looked smug for some reason. We, of the council, have viewed everything that had happened on the latest mission and given certain circumstances. We have voted to have you exiled from Konohagakure, indefinitely, he said with conviction, making almost every shinobi snap their heads in his direction in shock while the civilians smiled as they got their support from one advisor. Naruto Uzumaki brought back Sasuke Uchiha in very desperate condition, in which he could never have been a shinobi if we didn't have Tsunade to save him. For that action Naruto must be punished. Koharu spoke up while looking at Naruto with hate through her squinted eyes. He also used his tenant's power while fighting the Uchiha, putting his life in danger along with anyone else who may come in contact with the boy in the future. Naruto Uzumaki is a ticking time bomb ready to explode. Hamura explained. Tsunade shouted in his defense he used the Kyuubi but not of his own will, and he used just one tail of chakra. He put his own life in danger while fighting Sasuke when he was under the curse seal influence, and that too at level 2. We should be thankful that he brought back Sasuke, or else Orochimaru would have the Sharingan. At this, civilians protested that Sasuke did that under the influence of Cursed Seal, or else he would have never left Konoha in the first place, and so he is a loyal shinobi. At this, Tsunade asked Shinobi Council for defense, but Danzo said the civilians are right. He was thinking of finally getting the command over the last Uchiha or live Sharingan, even if it was at the price of the QB brat. It was a good deal nevertheless. Naruto didn't know that due to the fear of getting in the bad side of Danzo, and his so-called disbanded route, no Shinobi Council members supported him. Present time, Naruto said, I don't understand how everyone except Bachan abandoned me even after I did put my life in danger for them, and I keep the QB at bay to keep them safe. Tazuna said, because they never liked you in the first place. Naruto, yeah, that will take a lot of time to digest. Flashback 3. We wanted to execute him. The incident at the Valley of the End was not the only time that demonic chakra has been sensed. It was reported on his first mission out of the village, as well as during the Chunin exams and after then, when Otosuna were invading. We gave him a chance, but enough is enough. However, we've seen how you favor the boy, so we decided on exiling him instead, cause execution requires your direct authority, which you won't give. So, council has decided to exile him, Danzo said, directing his attention to the angered Tsunade. Naruto, however, kept his head lowered. His seal has not been damaged, it most certainly isn't breaking. Tsunade snapped. Have you no faith in the Yandame's sacrifice? The Yandame, gifted as he was not infallible. And, Jiraiya's been keeping an eye on the boy. He's a seal master in his own right. So you honestly think that he wouldn't notice if anything was wrong with it? Tsunade was absolutely livid. How dare they? Just who do they think they're dealing with? The seal that the Yandame crafted for the boy was one of his own designs. It's one of a kind, and only the Yandame knew how it worked properly. Jiraiya is not qualified to make decisions in the boy, and you are? Tsunade knew that she had to end this. The mutterings of the council, particularly the civilian half, it wasn't comforting. She opened her mouth to speak, but Koharu cut her off. So you say that the seal isn't breaking? Well then, what excuse has Uzumaki got for using the demonic chakra? If what you're saying is correct, then the fact that he can call up the demon's chakra himself is something that's even more troubling. At least the Uchiha's seal warrants an excuse for his behavior. That little bitch, how dare she? Thought Tsunade while struggling to keep her temper. Before anyone could speak, they heard chuckling. Turning to the owner of her, saw Naruto with his head down while chuckling. But not a humorous chuckle, but a hollow chuckle. You know, he muttered, getting everyone's attention. I was wondering how long it would take the council to pull this one, treating me as the scapegoat. All because you bastards can't even shit right without help. So what do? Pick the usual punching bag to place all blame on because of your incompetence. He spoke with such coldness that many actually shivered from it while the elders grew outraged. Look here, boy, a fat civilian started only for a kunai to go flying past his face and embed itself deep in the wall behind him. A moment later a cut appeared on his cheek. Looking ahead, he saw Naruto with his arm outstretched and a cold look in his eyes. Noya, listen to me, he practically commanded. Everyone else looked at Naruto in shock at the way he was acting. You say I'm dangerous because I have access to the QB's power and I'll use it to practically kill and destroy? If that is the case, then why is this village still standing? He asked rhetorically while looking around. I have every reason to say fuck it and release the QB and reduce the village to nothing, but I don't, because I actually have people who see me for me and not some weapon, monster, or abomination that should be destroyed. Everything I have ever done is for their safety. I have put my life on the line protecting everyone who is precious to me, and I'm the one on trial here. Being told I am a ticking time bomb right now, you have no idea how close you are. He spoke as his eyes flashed red for a second, then a sort of rippling gray before going back to blue, which startled everyone there. You are a danger to everyone here. It is only a matter of time before your presence brings destruction to Konoha. Koharu spoke through gritted teeth, anger clearly displayed on her face. All of a sudden, everything seemed to click in Naruto's mind before a small smile played out on his face. I know the real reason you're all doing this, he said with a smug tone, making the elders and the civilian council stiffen. Your fear for those outside the village is Amazinjiri, not worried about the people of this village. You're worried about yourselves. Worried that I have a group of S-rank missing mean after me for the power of QB. And you know they will come for me, just like Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hashigaki did recently, am I right? He asked with an arched brow. The Akatsuki Jiraiya spoke up, coming from out of the shadows, having listened to everything and had a scowl on his face. Are a group of S-rank missing mean after the Biju's power for who knows what, and what Naruto is getting at is that the elders and civilian council want to banish him to protect themselves. What? Some asked, confused, knowing who this group was. But it is a shinobi matter. How come the civilian council know about them? Jiraiya said calmly. Oh. They know about the organization, but how that they should be asked. Shinobi council glared at civilian council. Then Danzo said how they knew is irrelevant. But the boy is the real threat. To keep the village standing we must. Everyone who had heard was gobsmacked that Naruto was in such danger, and yet the village were throwing him away to save themselves. That is irrelevant as of now. Right now we will place a vote, whether or not Naruto Uzumaki will be banished or not. Danzo spoke up, drawing all attention back to himself. All for? He asked, raising his own hand up along with the advisors and civilian council, which was actually the majority of the council now that clans have become empty in the village. And against? He spoke with a smug tone, already knowing the result as Tsunade and the clans held their hands up with defeated looks, but nevertheless showing Naruto their support. Naruto Uzumaki, you will be out of this village within 8 hours or you will be executed. You can't do this, Tsunade-sama. Naruto said, stopping Tsunade in her tracks after using her name instead of Bachan. Looking up at him, she saw Naruto, who had a sad smile on his face despite what was happening. Don't worry, this is the best for everyone, and you know it deep down. Present time. And then within next hour or two I left the village and started my journey and ended up with you guys. Naruto stated. After that everyone just digested what happened. So they just disbanded you because they don't want to be terrorized by the Akatsuki. Disgusting people. Tsunami concluded. Still the Hokage could have stopped you, but then again the council. Yet could not she take the power from council or specifically from civilian side and advisors? They are like more powerful than the Hokage and Shinobi Council. This is all due to the untimely demise of Yondaime Hokage. You will understand after my explanation, which I came to realize last night after I thought a lot about that day when I overheard what Bachan was yelling at Shizune-chan. Flashback 4. As usual, Naruto went to Tsunade's office on the next day of Sasuke's defection without knocking, and by chance the door was not completely closed. Naruto heard, Tsunade, what the fucking councilors want of me? The fucking civilians don't know anything about shinobi ordeals, yet just ordering their Hokage to get back Sasuke traitor Uchiha. Bloody bastard. I wanted to make him a missing nin, but bloody ass-kissers are bitching about Uchiha-sama is under influence of cursed seal. Bloody shits. Sijun, but they can't order you. You can overrule them, cause this is not some civilian, is Konohagakure no Sato. Strongest of all hidden villages. You could overrule them, Tsunade, as if. My old geezer of senile sensei has done all this. Shizen, Sandaime-sama? But he was the god of shinobi. How come he was responsible for all this? Tsunade, you don't know anything. That old geezer didn't want to be reinstated, but when Yondaime passed away, he was forcefully reinstated, so he was not the same Hiruzen Sarutobi when he was first instated. My fucking sensei. He didn't nullify all the rules passed by the council before the Sandaime was reinstated that allowed them more power over the village than the clan heads and Hokage regarding certain matters when the advisors support them. Because he could not bend down his teammates, and so-called advisors and the Warhawk. And now he is dead. According to Shodaime Hokage, neither a successor nor a predecessor can nullify the any existing Hokage's law. Only the Hokage who created the law could discard it. If he dies before that, the law remains forever. Decision. So the council, basically the bloody civilians, took the chances when whole village was in sorrow after the Kyuubi attack after Otosuna invasion, and made their stand strong in the village council chamber. Bloody they should have been executed for treason. Unfortunately that can't be possible, Tsunade. Or how the bloody shits would have occupied 60% of total population in Konoha and in the council from a single seat to the majority in that case. Bloody cowards. Present time. Tazuna said, "Oh, that explains everything about how a village just let away its strongest weapon leave the village." He sighed and asked, "So what will you do now?" Naruto said, "I was planning to go to Suna and appeal them to help me in my basics. Probably they would listen to Gaara help me, Hinata, but Naruto-kun. You are so strong. What do you mean by basics? Didn't Kakashi-san teach you?" Naruto, Kakashi never taught me anything except tree climbing. He was was forced to teach Sasuke, I don't know, but I learned my flaws from Pervy Sage during the 1-month training. And my wins were pure lucks. But I can't depend on luck if I am to fight S-class ninja of the Akatsuki. So, I must be better do my homework and hone my skills. Sunigakure no Sato? That's way across the land. Wouldn't Kirigakure no Sato or Yukigakure no Sato be better because they're closer? Tazuna asked. Kirigakure is still in the middle of a civil war, and I don't know if Yukigakure still exists after Dodo was dealt with. Iwagakure and Kumogakure are definitely out because of their relations toward Konoha. Despite the fact that I'm exiled, they won't help me become stronger. Takigakure would be a good choice, but Sunigakure would be better. Naruto explained. If this is for the best, then we will support you. Tsunami said with a smile. I know a guy down on the port. He ships supplies to Kaze no Kuni. I'll see if I can get you on board. Tazuna said. Thanks you guys, I really appreciate it. Naruto said. Tazuna, well, that is decided. But what then, and what about Hinata? Naruto, though she is not my responsibility, but as my only friend she can come with me and she could improvise herself, that is if she wants. What do you say, Hinata-chan? Hinata, if there is no problem, I want to come and I have to improve myself. Naruto, well, it's decided. Tazuna, so when are you leaving? Naruto, I need to rest for a week to regain all my strength and restore all my chakra. Maybe after 10 to 12 days we will leave from here, but if there is no problem for you. Tsunami, of course not. Inari will love for you to stay here. Naruto, thank you. Whoa. And so life continued for 14 days. On the final day, that is after 2 weeks of his banishment, Naruto was on a cliff in Wave Country. Naruto sat on the edge of a cliff. After a good cry and a little rest, he stepped out to get some air. From his position, he could see the village. He saw that the place looked more lively. He could see many vendors and shoppers. It also seemed like the shipping had gotten better too. He was happy that things had turned out well for Nami no Kuni. He turned his attention to the setting sun. It reminded him of the sunsets in Konoha. As he looked at the sun, he began to plan what to do next. Without Konoha backing him, it made him easy pickings for the Akatsuki. He knew that Tsunade Basin and Erosenin would attempt to keep it quiet, but it wouldn't last. Once word got out, they would immediately be after him. That was why he needed to stay off the grid. He also needed to get stronger. He would train his butt off and make sure that they didn't get him. That meant he had to leave Nami no Kuni, Wave Country. While it was nice that Tazuna and his family cared for him, he was putting them and Wave in danger, so he had to go and stay on the move. With the thoughts, Naruto went to Tazuna his family to bid farewell. Whoa. The next day morning, Naruto and Hinata started traveling and went to the person who Tazuna introduced to them. Then at the port they said goodbye to Tazuna and his family. On the way, Naruto made several kagebunshin to help the man on deck and went to take rest and dozed off thinking last night's event and Tsunami's advice. Flashback 5. Tsunami, you should change your attire. If you want to keep low profile, always wear that mixes with the surrounding. And your hair is so unruly and it's blonde, so you should keep it inside a bandana, so no normal person could detect you. So you should wear makeup on your face or should wear black goggles on your eyes to hide the blue colors. And Naruto had a complete new look. He was in complete black pant, shirt, black bandana, black goggles, except a brown overcoat to mix with the sand in Suna. At this, Hinata blushed and hearing Tsunami's motherly behavior giggled. So Tsunami turned to her. Tsunami, and you young lady. You have to leave the expensive clothes and will have to wear something simple, and you should to probably use both lenses and goggles if you don't want your eyes to be detected. And Hinata had to leave lavender. Now she was in complete white, and in simple dresses too. She looked beautiful. Naruto, hey Hinata-chan. You look beautiful. Hinata became red of blushing. Present time. Now they were in the same dress in the ship. After a journey of 2 more weeks in the ship, they reached at a port in Wind Country, Kaze no Kuni. Then they thanked the captain named Takura. Takura was very pleased with the shadow clones technique of Naruto. Due to that, he didn't hire the 50-odd people for the deck work and continued with just his crew of 15 people. So he spent less and earned more. So, he gave Naruto the payment of 25 people for 14 days. Of course, he saved 25 people worth charges, which Naruto gave to Hinata for safekeeping. In these few days, Hinata became an accountant cum food consultant cum best friend for Naruto. Then they both bid farewell to Takura and proceeded towards Sunagekure no Sato, village hidden in sands. To be continued. Naruto started his journey towards Suna with Hinata. After a few hours they were near Sunagekure no Sato. Naruto thought, how is Gaara doing and how will he take when he learns that I am banished from Konoha? It's almost a month now. Hope words of my banishment are not out or the Akatsuki will run after me as an easy target. However, he was pulled out of his thoughts when he heard some commotion ahead. So, he took Hinata and they hid near a sand dune and observed Gaara and Kankuro. Temari was there with her fan showing all 3 moons on it. They were facing a group of Konoha shinobi. He recognized the 2 of the Konoha shinobi who were examiners of the Chunin exam. He listened carefully to what was going on. I understand that you are upset with us right now, but please be reasonable. If we go back and go around, we would be wasting half a day to get to our destination. Please, allow us to pass through your borders. Kotetsu asked. You should count yourselves lucky that we haven't banned you from entering Kaze no Kuni. It will only be for a year. Surely the great Konohagakure could last a year without our help. Kankuro asked sarcastically. One of the Konoha shinobi was seething. You sand rats should consider yourselves lucky that we didn't retaliate after your betrayal. He spat. Whatever. You guys are just bitter because your daimyo punished you for your stupid actions. I mean, you just let go of your strongest weapon and the great Nine-Tails Jinchuriki at that. The very weapon which your Yandane created at the cost of his life, whose presence inside Konoha was alone suffice to keep your enemy countries at edge, knowing well that if they attack they might have to face against the strongest of the Bijus. But now him gone, you lost that threat, and to think that all major hidden villages have their Jinchuriki, and the strongest village just threw away its weapon, the fire daimyo. Just lost a lot of assets which he lost because his weapon was gone. Boy, he must have been pissed. Temari mocked. The Konoha shinobi growled and reached for his holster, but he was quickly wrapped in sand. Everyone looked to see Gaara with his hand outstretched. He was slowly closing his hand, making that guy cry out. Please, Kotetsu begged. You will go back and around the borders as we dictated. Gaara said. He released the shinobi and watched as he regained his breath. This will be your only warning. Kotetsu and Izumo looked at each other aside. All right, we will abide by the decree of your council. If it makes a difference, my friend and I were not one of those who agreed with the situation. Izumo said. Gaara didn't say anything to either of them, making them sigh again. They moved to help the shinobi up and they made their way back toward the border. Gaara watched as they were out of his view. He then looked toward the sand dune. Uzumaki, you are free to come out. Gaara said. Everyone was confused when they turned to see Naruto stand up and remove his hood. Hey Gaara! Long time. No see. So, what have you been up to? Naruto asked. You two can come out, Gaara said. Hinata dressed in pure white came out. She looked just like an angel. Kankuro had stars in his eyes after looking at her. He started drooling. Temari bumped his head to stop the antics of her pervert brother. But when Hinata opened her sweet and soft voice and said hello very politely to Gaara, all hell broke loose and Kankuro fainted as he never faced a kunoichi so gentle and beautiful. Temari shook her head in shame. Soon their relief came and they made their way back to Suna. Night fell over the desert. Naruto, Gaara and the others were eating dinner. As they ate, Kankuro was telling Naruto about what just happened with the Konoha shinobi. So because of my banishment, your council has banned any Konoha shinobi from entering Suna's borders? Naruto asked. You can thank Gaara for that. He told the council that the reason he's been so calm is because of you. This is their way of thanking you. Kankuro said. Temari bopped him in the head for wording it like that. Naruto looked at Gaara. Thanks Gaara, but I wish you hadn't done that. Tsunade Basin was one of the few who tried to help me. This ban will give her some unwanted headache. Naruto said. Gaara said nothing but kept looking at him. Then said still she could not restrain you from leaving the village, so I did it to punish those who didn't acknowledge your existence. Naruto's sweat dropped. The one coldly told me to tell you to continue your youthful ways. He apologizes for not seeing you off or having your back as he was not aware of what was happening. He also says that he will strive to be as strong as you. This was after your status was released to the village. Gaara said. Lee. He will never change. Probably that is the best about him. And finally they released my status, huh? Naruto asked softly. It was just the day after you left the village. We were there just for some diplomatic negotiation. The civilians were happy, though the shinobis had a lot of tension, maybe because they lost their trump card weapon, Kankuro said. So, anything else happened that I should know about? Naruto asked. Man, weren't you listening to the discussion we had with your former comrades? Kankuro asked. All I really heard was that the fire daimyo was pissed. Naruto said. Pissed doesn't even tell the story. We were in council chambers when it happened. He just stormed into the room and demanded to know why Nami no Kuni, Wave, ended trade with Hai no Kuni and why Kaze no Kuni retrieved all missions from them. Moreover, he lost some of the important assets in all nations because every country got to know about you, and as soon as the fear of 9 tails was over, no country is paying that respect or fears Hai no Kuni. He already knew why, as the daimyo from each land told him. They tried to explain why they banished you, which only enraged him further. He cut Konoha's funding by 30% and took half of their missions away, gave them to us. You should have seen the smiles on our counselors' faces, Temari explained with a laugh. Tizuna must have told the Wave daimyo to cut the trade after he learnt the ways of the greedy civilian council. Damn, Bachan must be feeling her age. Naruto said. Well, she did get some payback. The daimyo was so angry with how they treated their shinobi that he had Sasuke taken out of his holding cell and transported to a private prison, away from Konoha. That is where he will spend out his 2-year sentence. Tsunade couldn't stop smiling. Temari added. Well, that's good. Naruto said. Why's that? Asked Temari. Maybe I'm being naive, but maybe this will change his ways. Naruto explained. I doubt that. Anyway, what brings you to the desert? Kankuro asked. Naruto suddenly got serious. This concerns you as well, Gaara. There are some individuals called the Akatsuki. They are after people like you and me. What are you talking about? Who's after Gaara? One of the Suna shinobi asked. All I know that they're called the Akatsuki. I really don't know how many members there are. I also know that they are after the Biju. I only know 2 members. One is Uchiha Itachi and his partner, some guy made Kisame. Naruto stated. Hashigaki Kisame, the Kirigakure no Kaijin, monster of the mist? He's an S-rank missing nin like Uchiha Itachi of Leaf. The other Suna shinobi said. Let me make it clear from what Pervy Sage told me. According to him, all members of this Akatsuki group are S-rank shinobis or higher. Naruto explained. This is not good. Kankuro said. Last time I faced them, I was scared stiff. I refuse to be like that the next time we meet. I was hoping to stay some time, probably a year, and train. I know that you guys won't hold back on me. Naruto said. What do you need to work on? Gaara asked. The truth? I want to relearn everything. That shouldn't take long. A new fighting style and Fujutsu couldn't hurt. Naruto stated. I will speak with Baki when we return. I will also join you in this training. This Akatsuki seems to be serious. Gaara said. Naruto grinned and continued to eat. What about her? Kankuro asked, pointing at Hinata. She will also train. But if you could keep her at your disposal, that would be better. Because I need to be unmoved to keep the Akatsuki at check from reaching me. And Temari, I need your help, and if you could help her in her lack of confidence, as you are the only kunoichi I know outside Konoha. Naruto asked. What do you mean by keep with us? Gaara said. I plan to be unmoved after I finish my training here. I don't want you guys to be attacked because of me. Besides, I need to widen my horizon on different jutsus from all the elemental nations. So, I can't travel with her. So I want you to treat her as Suna shinobi for next 2 to 3 years until I come. If you are worried that people will find out about her being a Hyuga, then don't bother. She is dead to our village. And Hinata described about it. You could always keep her missions inside Kaze no Kuni, so that way no other village will know that you have a Byakugan at your disposal. Naruto finished. Is it okay, Hinata-chan? Will you keep training after I leave for next 2 to 3 years? I will remain in touch. Gamakichi will surely help us. What do you say? Naruto said. Hinata thought. She didn't want to be separated from Naruto, but at her current level she will be a burden for him. So she said, alright, Naruto-kun, I will keep on improving and honing my skills. Gaara agreed. He said he and Temari will try to persuade the council, and having a dojutsu user even if within Wind Country only is still tempting, so they might not argue a lot about Hinata. Then everybody finished their food, went to sleep. Next day in the morning at 10 o'clock, Naruto and Hinata stood next to Gaara, Temari and Kankuro. The trio brought them before the Suna council. They told Naruto that they would have to gain their permission for training. They stood at the ready as the council finished their last decision. When it was over, they turned to Gaara and his siblings. So Gaara, you have a request? Who are the boy, the girl with you and your siblings? Asked the head speaker. This is Uzumaki Naruto and the girl is Hyuga Hinata. They have come seeking training. Gaara answered. They all looked at Naruto. Hinata. Yes, I remember you now. You are the one who defeated Gaara during the invasion. Baki said. This is the one who defeated Gaara. A councilman asked surprisingly. He looked him over, making Naruto nervous. He doesn't look like much. Naruto's nervousness turned into annoyance. He was about to say something but Kankuro stopped him. Exactly why should we agree to train him? If I'm not mistaken, isn't Konoha your village? Should not they help you? A councilwoman asked. Then Naruto told the council about his banishment and lied about Hinata by saying that she was abandoned by her clan because she was weak as she didn't have anywhere to go. She accompanied him hiding the true reasons. That is very pitiful. Still, why we should help? A counselor asked. He has brought with him important information that you all should hear. Temari said. She ushered Naruto forward. Making a mental note to prank that councilman, Naruto stepped forward. Okay, there is a group of shinobis that are after people like me and Gaara. 14 years ago, I was used to seal the Kyuubi no Yoko. When on a mission to retrieve the Godame Hokage, I was approached by 2 shinobi. They came for the Kyuubi that was sealed within me. If it was not for my sensei, Jiraiya, I would probably be dead. Naruto said. His report disturbed the council and had them muttering. They turned back to him. Do you know the name of this group of shinobi? Who are their members? How many are in this group? Baki demanded. The name of the group is Akatsuki. They can be identified by their black robes that have red clouds. I don't know how many members there are, but the 2 who came after me were Uchiha Itachi and Hashigaki Kisame. I also know that Orochimaru used to be a member, and according to Jiraiya-sensei all of the members are at least S-rank missing means from all over the elemental nations. Naruto stated. This is very disturbing news. Baki! The head speaker called out. I will strengthen our defenses right away. Baki said. He nodded and turned his attention back to Naruto. Thank you for the information, Uzumaki Naruto. I must ask you, however, why do you wish for training? If I heard correctly, your sensei was Jiraiya, one of the Densetsu no Sannin. He said. Wait a minute, I thought your sensei was Hatake Kakashi? Baki asked. Hatake Kakashi was anything but a sensei. The Gama Sannin, Toad Sage, taught me more in 1 month than Kakashi did in 6 months. Naruto said seriously. Still, you have not told us why you need training? A councilwoman asked. The honest truth is that my training is not where it should be. My victories against Gaara, Kabuto, and even Sasuke were by luck. If I am going to face a group like the Akatsuki, I must be stronger than I am now. I don't want them to get a hand on the Kyuubi or else they would gain a most devastating weapon. So, I want to reach as high level as possible before I have to fight any of the Akatsuki members, Naruto explained. The council murmured positively, agreeing with his words. Anything else? One councilman asked. Naruto described everything he told to Gaara about Hinata's training and also made a promise if they help them. Then in return Suna will gain his personal support in war battles as long as Gaara is on Suna's side. As planned, the council took the bait to have a dojutsu user support of strongest Biju and agreed to keep Hinata under their protection. Then the head speaker looked at Naruto and said, very well then, we will allow you to train under one of our elite. We will give you 9 months worth of training. After that you will have to move on. Till then you can learn whatever you could grasp. Naruto nodded. 9 months is plenty of time. Just watch, I'll be kicking ass and taking names in 4. Naruto boasted. The council looked at him with a bit of disgust. Temari and Kankuro just smirked and snickered at his behavior. Gaara had no expression at all. The next day Hinata went with Temari and her siblings to train with them as she had to stay here longer than Naruto, and everybody could see the determined look on her face. By the time Naruto was in one of Suna's training grounds, he stretched out his muscles as he waited for whoever the council would send as his instructor. A woman suddenly appeared. She had blue eyes like him and dark hair from the looks of it. He really couldn't tell from the turban that she wore. She was wearing what all Suna shinobi wore. What really confused him was the scroll that was on her back. Upon further inspection, he saw that it was cloth. He wondered what type of fighting style would require her to knit. Uzumaki Naruto? She asked. Naruto nodded and stood in front of her. My name is Mari and I will be the one that will be your sensei for the 8 months that you are here. Before we begin, I would like to know what you plan to accomplish in these 8 months. Well, I definitely would like to work on my basics techniques and my chakra control. Oh, and I would like to learn how to deal with genjutsu. Those are really my main concerns. I'll learn any jutsu you wish if you deem me ready. Other than that, I will be working on a side project of my own. Naruto explained. Mari nodded and appeared to be happy. Very good, I can definitely help you out with the first 2. The genjutsu is also not a problem, but we'll get to that later. Let us start by you showing me what you got. We will go further after that. Mari said and readied herself. They sparred for some time until Mari defeated Naruto and his shadow clones. That was a pretty good plan, but you make it way too obvious. I'm kind of impressed that a 13-year-old knows a kenjutsu. I got to know what we need to work. Tomorrow at the same time we will start the training. Mari said left. Naruto stayed for a little while longer, wishing to work on the Rinnegan. This was the side project that we wanted to work on. He made himself a promise that he would get this down to one hand before the 9 months was up. After 1 SD month, time passed on. Kankuro dropped Naruto on the couch of his temporary home. The blonde looked tired and was a little damp. Temari, Maki and Gaara were all there with him. Gaara turned his attention to Maki, making her flinch a little. How is he doing under your guidance? Gaara asked. His potential is through the roof. It's only been a week and his basics and chakra control has gotten better. He learns more through the body than he does the mind. That's something that is a bit difficult. Mari explained. So, you have him doing the waterfall climbing exercise? Temari asked. Yes, and he almost has that down. If he gets to a level that I'm comfortable with, I teach him how to glide across the sand. So what are his weaknesses? Temari asked. He has almost high Kage level chakra reserves even if he is a genin, which is impressive. But his chakra control is so poor that it depletes after 2 to 3 C-rank jutsus. Being a Jinchuriki only makes his control poorer, as every day his reserves are getting higher from previous day. How he manages to create hundreds of Kage bunshins is a miracle in itself considering his chakra control. If he got better chakra control then he will be a force to be reckoned with. Secondly, due to such poor chakra control he'll never have the skills for genjutsu. We are working on a way for him to dispel them and sense them. He needs to update his tactics a little as well. His main one is becoming outdated and easy to see. A genin with enough training can see what he's planning. Maki said. She then remembered something that she needed answering. I asked him who his sensei was. If he was trained by Hatake Kakashi the copycat ninja, then Jiraiya the Gamma Sennin, how is he so far back? Mari asked. Well, he doesn't see Kakashi as his sensei. Jiraiya only had 1 month with him before he was banished. Kankuro answered. Well, at least he's fun to train. I'll be taking my leave now. Mari said and left via Shunshin. Temari walked over to Naruto and smirked. So, how do you like the training so far? Naruto grinned and gave her a thumb up. Next day Naruto was thinking that in 1 month he trained his ass off, yet he improved a little. His taijutsu and chakra control were slightly better. He thought I need a fast way to learn if I want to make it to high class shinobi league. But how? At the time he unknowingly made 2 Kage bunshins and punched them. This time he felt pain to himself, but it was not physical. He thought, what is happening? Then he made 10 more shadow clones hit them with a log to dispel them. Suddenly he felt pain in his head as if someone has hit him hard. Then he went to Gaara alone, told him to use sand coffin on one of the clones. When Gaara did it, Naruto felt the pain as the clone. After that he realized one thing: if I get the feeling as of the clone, why I am figuring this today? Then he thought all those times I was in the middle of battle or other tensions so I could not feel but it was there always. Maybe I could try to train with them. Soon Naruto made 3 shadow clones, sent them to Temari, Kankuro, Gaara, Hinata for sparring and requested them to dispel their respective clone after some time. After half an hour the clones dispelled. Naruto got the minor headache which he was used to with all the memories of sparring. Then he thought, I can't train physically with them cause they don't have muscles to transfer. But they can be used for taijutsu katas, ninjutsu training, boring study of scrolls books. So from tomorrow onwards I will work on muscle development, stamina increase with the original body, while the rest non-physical will be done by my shadow clones. A/N. From now I am going to place KB for Kage bunshins, and that he did. Next day Naruto applied shadow clones to his training regime, but he could not hold them for more than 1 hour. So, he started with chakra control under the guidance of Maki with KB that 200s in numbers. The results were showing after a week, so Naruto continued throughout the month. After second month, 2 months had passed since arriving in Suna. Naruto, who had turned 13 a week ago, was quickly coming into his own. Maki was a harsh taskmaster, but her personal training was working. His basics were much better. His tactics had improved, especially when it came to the on-field tactics due to his prankster mind. His chakra control was much better to that point where he could do waterfall walking, muddy water walking, finally deadly desert swamp walking without falling into it, and he barely wasted chakra now. The increase of his control made him mastering the Rinnegan in one hand, but his best improvement came in the form of KBs. Naruto could now make 1,000 of those without any fatigue, could hold them up to 18 hours a day. One more thing which didn't go unnoticed was, due to the strenuous exercises, Naruto's Kage-level chakra reserves, which were increasing slowly steadily, suddenly skyrocketed. Within just 1 month of hardcore training his chakra reserves were doubled, making it twice the Kage level of chakra. His improved chakra control improving from B class to high B class bordering A class. He could now perform a lot more number of low-level ninjutsus than before. One day Naruto was pondering his thoughts. Though KBs are good, but they are not for heavy assault training, rather for defensive training, because one hit they vanish. I need a way to keep them from longer time. Even if they pop when they are hit with weapons, still they must last longer against ninjutsu taijutsu. I also need a way to fight back the headaches I get from their popping. It won't help if I zone out in the middle of a battle. That day Naruto was sparring with Kankuro's puppets in the evening. He was down on chakra, due to the whole day of training. So he fought directly by himself. He was panting. Looking that Kankuro teased, everyone says you are a stamina freak with huge chakra reserves. But you are acting like some low-class ninja, who needs tons of chakra restoration pills to restore the chakra. Suddenly Naruto's head perked up, because he got the solution for the KB's longevity. He yelled, Kankuro, you are a genius! And went to Hinata to get some chakra pills, to which Hinata felt strange as Naruto never needed the pills. Kankuro meanwhile was thinking this cannot be good. Soon Naruto returned formed 2 KBs. Then he gave them each a pill ordered to fight Kankuro. Kankuro attacked again, but this time neither of the clones dispelled after a single hit. Kankuro was shocked. He threw weapons from puppets. One of the KBs took several hits dispelled, however the other one still defended itself. Naruto learned, I will find the solution so that they won't dispel after a few hits from the weapons, but for now it will do the job. And soon he formed 2 more KBs, ordered all clone to prepare 100 KBs, gave all 303 KBs a chakra pill, told them to attack Kankuro. After 5 minutes Kankuro went to hospital full of bruises for treatment. Then after treatment his siblings, Mari Hinata, asked how that happened. He answered Naruto was experimenting on him. Everyone looked for an explanation. I found out my KBs are popping out easily with 1 hit. So I wanted a solution. When in the evening spar Kankuro told me about pills, I got an idea, and Naruto explained all things. Aren't KBs meant to be dispelled with 1 hit? Mari asked. Yes. However, when they ate pills their chakra reserves restored to my level. As they are chakra entities without blood bones with same amount of reserves as me, they act like containers for storing chakra only. As they are solid yet without a real body, they don't get the physical strain or side effects like drowsiness of chakra pills. When 3 KBs created KBs, their memories are piled up into just 3 original KBs. So after popping out I get memories of all but headache of a few, which I am accustomed with. Because of full chakra they'll sustain as long as they want, even in battle can restore chakra when needed by devouring chakra pills. Naruto concluded. Temari said, so it's like thousands of Narutos fighting in a battle. It's like you can create armies of your own. Truly ingenious. Naruto said, oh yeah. I can teach you if you want. Mari said, that's good all. But you know it's a kinjutsu for a reason. Even if anyone learns it, they may not pull it up as you are doing, because you have been doing the jutsu for ages, accustomed to all pros and cons. It's like this KB is a part of yours. Maybe there is something in your blood that you are so adept with it. Only you can use it that way, no one else can. Naruto scratched his neck, said, you sound like I am some kind of genius of shadow clones. You may be true. Still, just think, in just 1 day I could use only 2 KBs to create 2,000 train for 20 hours. After them dispelling I get experience worth of more than 4 years. I myself can improve in physical condition, while my clones could do all hardcore nin/tai jutsu training. They can go for as long as they want. It's so awesome. Temari murmured to Hinata, he is the biggest stamina freak I have ever seen. Whoever becomes his girlfriend will be either very happy or will be very tired. Wait, that girl might be you. After all, you left the village for him. Isn't it? Hinata blushed at the thought of having a future with Naruto. Her cheeks were deep red. Naruto realized something, said, by the way, on the training ground Kankuro actually was fighting 303 clones worth twice the Kage level. Chakra lasted 5 minutes. That might be a record. You have very high endurance to beating. Everyone minus Gaara gaped at Kankuro, who was feeling proud for achieving such a feat. But maybe that is because all the beatings you get from females due to your perverted nature. That's why you are accustomed to beating. Naruto said. Kankuro growled. Everyone laughed at him. Then so on. Naruto continued to train. After 6th month, Mari went to the council chamber to submit her report on Naruto Hinata. The counselors looked at it, and were gobsmacked after reading the report. So they said, Mari, care to explain this report? If anything else you want to say, Abu, this blonde kid. Mari said, from the day 1 to the end of 6 months I trained the boy. I was amazed at his potential. He is like a pure diamond, needed to be polished properly. I mean, you can see from the report that his chakra reserves increased to almost 8 times the reserves of a normal Kage. That is, without the QB he has improved his chakra control to A class bordering S class. Basically, he has the highest amount of chakra reserves I have ever seen in a single person. If he completes the final chakra control exercises like running on sand, separate all 7 color sand in less than 7 seconds by the end of his 10 months time span, which was completed only by one shinobi in Suna, the Sandame Kazekage. Everyone gaped at that because Sandame Kazekage was hailed as the strongest of all Kazekages. To match him required skill. He will have the chakra control of a Kage, or a very high-level medic. At his ever-increasing chakra reserves he will be like a chakra monster with endless amount of chakra. One counselor said so. Basically from the report the kid is a prodigy. Too bad we can't keep him to save the alliance with Konoha, or else he would have been a deadly asset. Anything else? Mari nodded. Surely the kid would have been a great weapon in our arsenal. But I think he has improved his basics a lot. I think it's time for elemental training. One counselor said at first we never thought he will learn this much in such period. But we have already signed his agreement, now we can't go back. So proceed with it. Let's be happy that we'll have a powerful ally ninja in the future if situation calls for it. What about the girl? Mari, she is doing a lot better since Lady Tamari helped her overcome her stuttering, shyness, lack of self-confidence. However, for the last 3 months she is under the eyes of Chiyoba-sama. She apparently is here. Want to speak something about the girl. Counselor, let Elder Chiyo enter. Lady Chiyo entered into the council chamber. She was a short lady in her late 70s. She was hailed as Suna's greatest poison specialist. She was supposed to be the greatest medic after Lady Senju Tsunade, which she always despised. So seeing Hinata, she got the idea to take that mantle from Tsunade, even if it can't be her. So she wanted to teach Hinata personally to make her the greatest combat medic to ever live, even surpassing Tsunade. She was right in a sense, because in current generation, there was no one to match up to either of them. But she never knew that her supposed medium of revenge against Tsunade will be hailed as someone great in future. She took a seat, spoke. I took the Hyuga girl under my wing almost before 3 months. I am here to say that the girl is a true hard worker like the boy. Within 3 months I realized that the girl is a naturally born gifted medic at antidotes making, medicine, surgery. Within 3 months she learned the greatest medic weapon for surgery or battles, the chakra scalpel, due to her superb chakra control. Again, she has the dojutsu with which she could perform the most complicated surgery effortlessly with proper training. Her kind nature is all the better for patients' treatment. So I, Lady Chiyo, hereby appeal you to grant me permission to take her as my apprentice. I promise within next 1 year I'll make her the greatest prodigal combat medic you have ever seen. By the time the blonde brat returns she will be our asset, will be our ally to help Suna if something happens to me. Council persons saw Chiyo, thought she had a point, that she was getting old, hence if she could give them a better young medic then they could make a treaty to make a deal of faith with the girl. So they decided. Very well. Permission granted. Now, as everything summed up, the council is adjourned. The next day Mari took Naruto Hinata to a large hall-like place surrounded in thick glasses that was inside Suna's academy. They entered a dimly lit room. They both saw that there were 5 glass lanterns, each with a different color. Every lantern was placed on one small sand dune each. Maki ushered him to stand in the middle of the 5 lanterns. When he did, a seal appeared under him. You've come a long way in such a short time, so I think that you are ready for this. This place is called the Hall of Elements. Our future jonins use this room to learn their chakra affinity, Mari said. Chakra affinity? Naruto asked. Everyone is tuned to a certain element. This room will show us what element will be easier for you to learn and use. The way this works is that you stand in the middle of the lanterns. A seal will appear when you flare your chakra. One of the lanterns will glow brighter than the others. That one lantern will tell us which element you're in tuned with. Then the sand dunes reaction will tell exactly how strong is your affinity, Mari explained. She didn't tell him that the entire council jonins are watching him from outside the hall using camera installed in the hall, waiting to see their affinity to order them what to teach them. So which is which? Naruto asked. The color of the flames inside lanterns determines element. Sand dune reaction tells us the strength. For instance, in case of a good affinity, the red flame is fire, the sand under it will turn a little bit transparent. The brown flame is earth, the sand under it will turn into small pebbles. The green flame is wind, the sand under it will turn into even smaller particles. The blue flame is water, the sand under it will turn muddy. And the yellow flame is lightning, the sand under it will shine a bit. Now that we have that explained, let's begin. Mari said. Hinata went forward, channeled chakra. The blue flame flared highly, the sand under it instantly turned into mud. None other flame reacted. Mari said, you have currently 1 affinity. However, your number of affinity may increase in future. Still, your affinity to water is rather too high in the first place. It is good for you because water is the best affinity for a medic to treat patients. Hinata was rather happy, moved from her place. Outside the hall, council spoke to Chiyo. Your choice of apprentice is the best at the moment. Such strong water affinity. She can perform B-rank Swait jutsus at the expense of D-rank chakra. Chiyo, the moment I saw her I could felt something special in her. Her affinity is indeed at A-rank jounin level. She will be a very high-class medic. Everyone nodded yes. Mari, now Naruto, channel your chakra. Naruto nodded and placed his hands in the seal. He flared his chakra. His chakra became visible. The seal glowed and Maki had to block her eyes. She struggled to look at the lanterns and was shocked at what she barely saw. The green flamed lantern shines so brightly than the other that it lightened up the whole room in a green glow with scorching sound coming from the flame. The flame was supposed to glow, but the flame burned like hellfire to a height touching the roof of the hall. The sand turned to powdered dust, made a violent typhoon. The thick glasses could not stand the heat. The dust cyclone instantly shattered. The heat of the green flame alone was so high that Mari, Hinata, Naruto had to leave the hall immediately. The eyes of people standing outside the hall bulged out, became like dish plates. After some time Mari knocked on the door to enter. Counselor Jounin's turned to her. She said it was like hell. I left them at training grounds, came here to know what exactly happened there. At that one counselor who was a war veteran said such a strong affinity to wind. Never heard of. It is very clear that the boy's chakra affinity to wind is on par or even greater than the Night Aim Hokage's affinity to water. We are the wind shinobi, but none of us can compete in wind control with that boy if he is trained. His affinity is way beyond even the Kage level. If he is trained he can pull out SSS rank wind jutsus like D rank jutsus. Thank Kami he is friend with Gaara. Indeed, in front of his affinity my affinity seems child's play. I am said as the strongest wind user in Suna. I think I need permission of council to teach that kid. It will be an honor. Baki offered. Excuse me? The video analyzer shinobi spoke, attracting everyone's attention. His wind affinity is like a wind god. That is true. However, it is not his only affinity. The video analyzer shinobi said. What do you mean? There is no chance that he has another affinity. His wind affinity is too high to allow other affinity to exist. Besides, he is a genin. He can have more than one affinity. A councilman said. Please look carefully in the video. He not only has the strongest affinity to wind ever exist in Suna, but he also has very strong affinity to fire, lightning, water, which are almost at elite Jounin level. He has 4 affinities in total. I have never seen a shinobi more than 3 affinities, but here I think Kami that this boy doesn't have all the affinities. At least he has no affinity to earth. The video analyzer shinobi said. True to his word, everyone saw in video that the red flame burnt brightly up to 5 feet, the sand under it turned into solid one-piece glass mass. The yellow flame too burnt brightly up to 5 feet, the sand under it shined like sun rays at noon. The blue flame burnt brightly up to 5 feet, the sand under it turned into a very slimy swamp, devoured the lantern. Everyone was surprised at the revelation. What? How is this even possible? A councilman exclaimed. Calm yourself, ordered the head speaker. He turned back to Mari. Are you sure this is for real, Mari? She nodded, asked in a hope to train the boy. That what is my orders, honorable council? Continue to train him as we have said. Start him on learning to control his wind affinity, and show him some lower wind jutsu. Then train him in all of his secondary affinities for the girl. Elder Chio will see to it. The head speaker said. Maki bowed and left the council room. One fat councilman looked at the head speaker. Do you believe that was wise? He asked. That boy reminds me of how Gaara when he came in here asking to be a part of the Sand ANBU. It is the same look that he has. Also, should he go out into the world and become big, we would be credited with his growth. It is something that we can use in the future, he said with a laugh. Another 2 months had passed. Naruto watched the sunset from the roof of his temporary home. The setting sun was a beautiful thing to watch. Naruto would watch it sometimes back in Konoha, on the Hokage monument. Thinking of his old village did not depress him anymore. Suna was a better home than Konoha ever was. During his 8 months in Sunagekure no Sato, he had made friends with several shinobi and civilians. He even was a friend with Elder Chio, who was teaching Hinata. She acted like she wanted to kill him because of the few pranks he pulled, but he knew that she loved him. He even got to know the Sabaka sibling a little better. He supported Gaara's dream of becoming Kazekage and felt that he would do his village proud. Kankuro was a closet pervert, and he made it his mission to expose him at every turn. Temari's crush on Shikamaru was a surprise. She threatened him with bodily harm should that information should ever get out. They learned each other's dreams and goals. He felt like he was a part of their family. His training had picked up and he was more confident in himself. His tactics were borderlining the intelligence of Shikamaru. His basics and mastery of the Rinnegan were at Kage level. His chakra reserves increased to 10 times that of a Kage. He was S rank bordering Kage level at chakra control. He could detect genjutsu better, and had a way to dispel them which need a bit more work. He had learned 2 new winjutsu, the Futon, Daitapa and the Futon, Ripusho, both high D-rank jutsu, also Katan, multiple fireball, a D-rank fire jutsu, but whenever he used them they acted like high A-rank jutsus. Baki told him he needed very strong control over wind to perform D-rank jutsus at their level. He was happy that he had 4 affinities, but he could train only in fire-wind control in Suna. To learn right on he must go to Kumo. For water he should go to either Taki or Kiri. So he planned to go to Kumo once his training in Suna is completed. Maki even taught him how to make seals and basic fuinjutsu about symbols storage scrolls. Maki was impressed by how quickly he learned it. He was growing stronger and living a stress-free life. He would sometimes, mentally, thank the council for their decision. Those bastards actually did right by him. He was missing Konoha less and less. Yo Naruto! A voice shouted. Naruto looked down to see Kankuro. Hey, what's up? Naruto asked. Get dressed in some good clothes and come to our house. Kankuro ordered. What's going on? Naruto asked. You'll see. Just hurry up and get there. You know how Temari is angry. Kankuro informed him. Naruto did know how violent she was. He quickly ran to put on some clean clothes. Naruto was dressed in white and black and took a sip of his juice. He listened to Hinata talk about her day while Temari was decorating up the place. Kankuro was arguing with her about something that he could not hear. He thought that this was a pretty nice gesture by Temari and Kankuro. He wondered if Gaara would be really surprised by what was about to happen. He had mellowed out some, so he had to smile when he came through that door. Temari could hear Baki talking and shut everyone up. The room was made dark and everyone hid. It would be a few seconds later when the door opened and the lights were turned on. Everyone popped up from their hiding spots. Surprise! Happy birth! They were all cut off when they found themselves encased in sand. Gaara realized who he was about to crush and also noticed that the place was decorated. He saw the banner that read Happy Birthday Gaara. You did this for me? Gaara asked in surprise. Yeah, Gaara, this is all for you. We figured that we can make up for all the others. So, can you let us go now? There's cake there for you? Temari said nervously. Chocolate? Temari nodded yes at the question and Gaara released them all. As they dusted themselves off, Kankuro had to add in his 2 cents toward his sister. Oh yeah. Brilliant idea, Temari. Let's surprise him, he mocked. I almost wet myself, damn it. I told you that it would happen. Bite me, Kankuro. Temari hissed. Naruto, Baki and Hinata just chuckled at the arguing siblings while Gaara eyed the chocolate cake. Soon 2 more months passed. Naruto had mastered fire fully but still troubling with wind. So he started to ask Baki and continued training. To be continued. It was a fine sunset in village hidden in sands. A certain blonde was watching it with fascination, probably for the last time before the departure. He was thinking about his journey till now after the banishment, his growth. 9 months already passed as allotted to him, and it was his last day in Suna before his big departure. So Naruto decided to enjoy it because he didn't know if he will last too long in the outer world without the protection of anyone. But then again, Konoha was never a village which accepted him open-handedly. So he was prepared that it will be much harder, yet it will be worth the experience. Then he recalled his training in last 1 month. He basically honed his skills in the 9th month. He fought against a lot of people, but it was the fight with Miyaki, the Suna ANBU commander, that opened up his eyes. Flashback. It was the beginning of last week in Suna for Naruto. He was happy with his progress. According to Suna's documented records, his chakra reserves were 9 times worth of the Kage level. Chakra control ANBU level. Arsenal filled with B, C and D rank wind and fire elemental jutsus. So basically everyone considered him a prodigy, and at ANBU level bordering elite ANBU level. So being the knucklehead he challenged the Suna ANBU commander to test his strength. He thought the fight will continue for at least an hour. But he never in his dreams had thought that with training so hard for 9 crucial months, he will be knocked out so easily within 15 to 20 minutes. Though after the fight the Suna ANBU commander praised him for his fight and told him that he could have beaten him if he had better teachers at Academy. Yet Naruto felt that he was not anywhere near the Akatsuki level. So he promised to himself that he will try to flee as soon as he sees them, and will wait till he himself became as strong as them. With that in mind he went for treatment. Present time. Then he thought about one more thing. Hinata. In the past 9 months they had come in close. However, they came to a conclusion. Flashback. After Naruto was about to exit from hospital, he came face to face with Hinata. Her medic training was coming well. She looked at him and said hello. Naruto, however, wanted to tell her his true feelings and asked her if she had a few minutes. When she agreed, she took her to the hospital roof. Then he told Hinata that he knew she liked him, but at the moment she must concentrate on her skill development only. Then he said that he wanted her as a friend, but to be in a relationship is not possible for him, at least until he became stronger, and this Akatsuki ordeal sorted out. Then only if he felt strong enough to defend his friends, then they might give a shot to the relationship. Naruto seemed awkward speaking all that, but soon he felt a burden removed when Hinata promised him, I shall train my best to learn everything about medical knowledge. I am gonna try my best to surpass even Lady Tsunade if it comes to prove that I am being honest with the promise. I don't want anything in return from you just because I left the village with you. So you become strong on your own while I will do it on my own. So don't think anything about the relationship part. Because I promise you, as long as you believe in me, I will be your best friend no matter what. And you know I never go back on my words because that's my Nindo too. Present time. Then Naruto went to his temporary home where he started to pack for his journey. The next day at 5 o'clock in the morning, Naruto was at the gates of Suna in his attire in which he had entered Suna, but this time he had dyed his hair black instead of using bandana at the request of Kankuro, who gave him tips to use dyes and war paints for disguise, as they will not be distinguished quickly because they were not henge, so required no chakra at all. At the gate he bid farewell to Temari, Gaara, Kankuro, Baki and of course Hinata, who was there even after the previous night shift. Now he wondered how to go to Kumo, as he wanted to train his lightning affinity, and Kumo was the only place which could provide it. Soon he got to a port, and there he negotiated with a ship owner to let him travel, and in return he will help him lessen his manpower by his shadow clones after the captain agreed and allowed him to make his way to dock. Naruto created several shadow clones and decided to take some rest after all the traveling. Soon he dozed off and started to wonder what was happening in his ex-village. Though he was banished from Konoha, he still cared about it somehow and missed a few people who cared for him like Tsunade, Jiraiya, Iruka and ramen stand owners. Soon he fell asleep. Meanwhile in Konohagakure no Sato, things were not going very great. After the slash and funding, Konoha tried to make some allies. But that was not the concern for the 5th Hokage. Her primary concern was Sakura. Because her mother, who was head of civilian council, apparently tried to force Tsunade to take her as apprentice, which was supported by Danzo. While it was no secret that Sakura was a Sasuke fangirl, and if given training she will only help Sasuke using it. However, Sasuke was precious to council as last Uchiha, and hence to aid him they wanted to allow Sakura be trained by Tsunade in medic wing, which Tsunade didn't want, because she could not bear Sakura at all, as she was the reason according to Tsunade that caused Naruto to go through so much hardships, and she was the first one to call him monster after learning about the Kyuubi. She was thinking a lot about Naruto lately. It was already 10 months and thought she had asked Jiraiya to find out Naruto's whereabouts. He apparently lost the trail just after the borders of Hai no Kuni. So now she was wondering where her surrogate little brother was. She was almost positive that Akatsuki have not captured him yet. Soon she started doing paperwork. Back with our hero. After traveling for a month in Kaminari no Kuni, Naruto finally reached at the outskirts of village hidden in clouds and now was resting near a river flowing by a mountain side. He was thinking about how to learn right-hand techniques when he suddenly heard some sounds coming from a clearing. So he went to check out who it was and came to see a man wielding several swords was fighting with several jounins, and he was amazed to see that the man was using some chakra cloak which soon killed the enemy ninjas. Naruto had seen some powerful chakras till now, but whatever this man was using was way too powerful, to the extent that Naruto could hear growling inside his mindscape from inside the seal. So obviously he was awed. Though he contained the strongest Biju, yet he never used it in full consciousness, only in life and death situations. Here he was watching another fellow Jinchuriki using its Biju's power, though he didn't realize that yet. He was so lost in thought that he could not feel the man nearing him. He came out of his trance when he heard "Yo. Nice to see you, Naino. By the way, I am Eiji no." Naruto suddenly got nervous and lifted his guard. The way the man was speaking, he realized that this was the Jinchuriki of 8-tailed Biju, and deep down he was sure that he would not be able to take this man head on. So he spoke fearfully, "Sir, I am not with the enemy ninjas. Please don't kill me. Yo yo yo. No need to fear. Killer B is here." The man said, "B-san. I am Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki." Naruto then relaxed and said, "Say kiddo, just you know, I am from Kumo." Killer B said. As they were talking, someone in Genin vest appeared near them. "Sensei, are you alright? Asama is asking for you." He then asked to B, "Big bro, what you know? Take this kid home. I will manage, big bro yo." B said. After that B left, leaving Naruto with the Genin who was his student. On the way the boy asked, "Are you a ninja?" "Yes. But I am a Genin and I want to start a new life," Naruto said. "By the way, I am Darui, Killer B-sensei's student. Don't worry, we are not staying inside Kumo. Instead, B-sensei lives in outskirts of Kumo to be in peace and to practice his side raps." The Genin said. "Hey Darui. I am Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki." Naruto said. "It's getting late. Let's head over to B-sensei's place." Darui said. By the time they arrived there, it was already dinner time. So Naruto had the dinner and fell asleep after some time. Soon Naruto found himself in a place where he had not visited since the battle with Sasuke, Naruto's mindscape. Naruto continued to walk in the sewer-like place. Soon he came face to face against two big red glowing eyes above pair of sharp teeth staring at him behind the huge iron door, where kanji of seal was embedded in it. Soon the figure started to glow and harshly said, "So. Finally you came to see me and to take my power, you insolent piece of flesh bag. If you are here to take it forcefully, then just get lost. I am not giving you anything. Hey! I thought you pulled me out here to mock about how Konoha banished me. Stupid furball. Or else how come I came here on my own?" Naruto retaliated. Kyuubi laughed a demonic laugh which seemed like some D-rank wind jutsu, but Naruto stood on the ground. "What's there to laugh, furball?" Naruto angrily asked. "It's such an irony that the people who you wanted to protect are the same people who hurted you. You should have left the one-tailed raccoon fool to destroy the village." Kyuubi mocked. "Laugh at me if you want, but keep in your mind that now I'm free in the world without the protection of Konoha, and Akatsuki are after all the Bijus. They'll come soon after me because of you to capture and extract you." Naruto said. "Ha ha ha! No human can control me. Even if I am in prison, I am way too powerful for some bunch of idiots to capture me," Kyuubi said. "Furball. You fool. Don't you ever come out of your stupid arrogance? You may be almighty and all blah blah blah, but I am just a 13-year-old boy who is not in a level to fight any S-rank criminal, let alone two. What's bad is though you are inside me, yet you are doing nothing but mock at me when I am training my ass off to save both of our lives. That's not enough, yet you don't try to understand that if I get captured, so will you. So shut your stupid mouth for Kami's sake and don't bother me. At least I am trying to defend both of us, not like some stupid overgrown furry fox who is always in the days of past glory and not trying to do anything," Naruto angrily said. Kyuubi growled and roared. He just upped his paws, but suddenly Naruto and Kyuubi stopped hearing the sounds of clapping. They followed the sound and out came from the shadows Killer Bee with the 8-tailed Biju. "Hey! No need to worry and fight. "'Cause Killer B is here with Biju number 8. Suddenly B said. "Shut up, B. Let me talk to them," the Hachibi commanded. "Hello? Kubidano. Long time, no see," the Hachibi said. So finally the great 8-tailed octopus lord surrendered to a mere human. Pathetic. "You are not worthy of a Biju," Kyubi said. The Hachibi listened but said nothing and asked B to take Naruto away as he wants some time with Kyubi. But before going away, Naruto mocked, grinning to Kyubi, "Hey, the great 8 tails. Uncle B here told me you both can combine and share one body without any drawbacks. That's so cool. Not even the so-called 9 tails is able to do that. If it doesn't bother, could you please teach this overgrown fur ball how to do that without trying to take over my body? Maybe you could teach him how to treat your Jinchuriki. Hey Fox. Maybe you could learn something from him. Take a notepad and write down notes. Will ya? Because he seems more mature and calm even if he is a Biju. Maybe he should have been the demon lord, not you." Naruto teased Kyubi and ran away with B. "How dare you mock me? I am the most powerful of all Bijus." Not even this, Kyubi roared, but when he saw Naruto is nowhere he stopped ranting. Then facing at Hachibi he asked, "What do you want now?" "To start it all, I listened everything you and your container talked. I realized one thing, that he is probably your first container who doesn't have a grudge over you like your previous container who were overly powerful and adults. But this Jinchuriki is a child and from my POV the most worthy of your container," Hachibi said. Kyubi kept silence, so Hachibi continued, "From all the 9 Bijus created by father you were the most powerful, not even I, who is considered the second strongest Biju, am nowhere near your power and abilities. Heck, even all of us 8 on one side can do literally nothing against you. Yet on the other hand you are known as the most arrogant of us all. If we see from the history of your containers, it is very clear that you have never gone along with your containers. But when I saw your current Jinchuriki he reminded me of someone very close. So I think it's finally time to break free from your stupor and confront your container. From the short time I have seen him it is clear that he has the purest soul I have ever come across after father. I think from all of the containers you are the luckiest Biju to get a container who you could mold according to you, that is if you understood me. It seems he has potential, but he needs your support. Besides, if you want to prove that you are the strongest Biju, then it is only fair that you have the strongest Jinchuriki who like you could take the rest of the Jinchuriki head on and come out as winner. But from the looks of your container it is clear that he doesn't even stand a chance against the weakest Hachibi. Forget about standing before me. Don't forget who I am, Hachibi. Just because I am sealed doesn't mean you can give me advice. Besides, all humans are same. They are all selfish and power-hungry," Kyubi said. "That may be true. But no one is perfect. Heck, even father had flaws. He tended to ignore his daughter for the sake of his 2 adopted power-hungry sons. Let's not recall that anymore. Listen to me. In my time in Kumo I came to realize some major disturbances in nature. Something says me that dark times are coming for us Bijus, so I want you to be prepared. From the looks of it both you and your container knows something about that. Hence he is trying to get stronger on his own, not trying to steal your chakra nor place seals on you nor has bound you in chakra chains like your previous containers. One more thing, unlike your previous containers and even like the current Jinchurikis, you were not sealed in him when he became older, instead you were sealed in him from day one. So he must be very adept at handling your chakra and won't suffer from your chakra poisoning like my Jinchuriki suffered. So I am suggesting that it's time to remind the world about the true power of Kyubi at Prime. And I know very well that you have such abilities to provide to your containers that in front of which our containers' full powers won't stand. Heck, even many don't know that the destruction in Konoha 13 years ago by you was not even a cent of your power. It was child's play for you. Yet till now it is considered as the heaviest assault done by a Biju among all elemental nations, which made all nations to believe you are the strongest Biju. But I think the time is changing. So you show what the power level of the strongest Biju is, and you can only do that if your container becomes that strong. So you must give him a chance. Look at me. I was like you. But when I let go of my arrogance, look what I got. I am able to share the body of my container, and free to roam in his mindscape. Not like you who is inside a prison, so I suggest if you could let go of your arrogance, then maybe you could persuade your container to let you roam free in the mindscape. That's it. Hope you will understand and take steps. See you soon, elder brother. Hachibi concluded and bid farewell, not wanting an answer from Kyubi, who was in deep thought about what Hachibi said. Then Killer B, Hachibi along with Naruto vanished from Naruto's mindscape. The next morning Naruto woke up and went to the riverside to see B, as he decided to tell everything about himself. Soon he found B and said, "Morning, Uncle B." "Yo Naruto. You woke up so soon, it's not even noon," B replied. Naruto asked, "That was you last night in my mind." "Right. How did you do that?" B again started to say something, but suddenly Naruto cut him off and said, "No songs, please. I want simple answers." "Then let me give it to Ado." "You ready, my friend?" B muttered to himself. Then suddenly B's eyes changed colors and 2 small chakra horns formed on his head. A/N. I am writing Hachibi's voice in B's body as B, okay? It's me, boy. The Hachibi. What do you want to know? B said in a deep male voice. Wow. You really can do that. It's awesome. If I could do that. But the stupid fox always tries to steal my body. By the way, how you did that last night? Naruto asked. We bijus have connection with each other. If 2 or more are in close range, we can do that if our containers touch each other. That is too complicated stuff, kid. Now as I can see there is something you are worried and want to ask. Don't fear, speak up. B said. Naruto described all about himself from his birth in Konoha till banishment, and then after his training in Suna by to the help of another Jinchuriki, then his roaming in the world. He carefully left out about Hinata, because he thought he must not tell about her and draw unwanted attention towards her. Finally he said, initially I came to Kumo, for training in my lightning affinity. But then I saw another Jinchuriki, Uncle B. I wanted to warn you about an organization, but when I saw Byakuzen fight with the Jounins I felt that you both are very powerful, not some 13-year-old brat like me. I was afraid that if I warn you about you then you may think I am undermining you. After all, you are a biju, and I used to think all bijus are arrogant prick like the furball. But after last night I realized you are not like that, and you won't mock me after I said everything I know. Well, to start then, Naruto continued on saying everything about the Akatsuki in details and his encounter and escape from them. After listening for a few hours about everything, B said, what you informed is indeed alarming even if for a biju. So thank you for the warning. I will ask B to help you in lightning training and probably kenjutsu. Then B and Naruto departed as it was getting evening. So Naruto went to a clearing to continue his training with shadow clones, while B went for his own work. At night everyone had dinner together, and then went to sleep. Then in B's mindscape Hachibi informed him all about Naruto, that is showed him the memories of his talk with Naruto in the morning and asked B to help Naruto to get stronger. Because if the Akatsuki are that strong then Naruto had to be strong enough to defend the Kyuubi, because Kyuubi's power is too great. So it must not fall in wrong hands or else there will be disaster. The next morning B and Naruto sparred. B wanted to know about Naruto. You can't perform genjutsu. You have decent taijutsu, though you couldn't find a decent style for you. We have to work on that. You have some good jutsus in your arsenal yet the number is low, and you don't have anything powerful above A-class jutsu. So I can give you some pointer in ninjutsu, yet you have to find your sources to grab more. You have no idea in weapons. Neither could you control your biju's chakra. Strategic knowledge is decent. On brighter side you have chakra reserves worth of 10 times a kage. That's a whooping thing. Yet you have to improvise your chakra control, which is at elite jounin level. So overall you can face an elite jounin at best, but a seasoned ninja can easily overpower you. That may be a problem because according to you the Akatsuki are no pushovers. And you are not yet ready to take on them. B concluded, and then from then on regularly B, Naruto and B's students kept fighting with Naruto, which helped him a lot. It was already a month in Kumo for Naruto. He became friends only with B and his students. He was happy after knowing that Kumo treated its Jinchuriki very well. He was improving very well and now could easily defeat all 3 genins even at their full power. But his lightning training had not started yet. So one day Naruto went to B and asked if he could take him as a student, which B refused by saying, he is not a Kumo ninja. Naruto said if he became a Kumo ninja then would B take him in. But B then said, look kid, you don't know anything about Kumo, and in current situation even if you join it you will be my rival because my brother is against the current Raikage. What do you mean? Naruto pressed on. B sighed deeply and described from start the current Raikage is Hira of the Gashira clan. Including him there have been a total of 4 Raikages till date, all from the Gashira clan. In Kumo, Gashira is a power-hungry clan and always pursued the daimyo of Kaminari no Kuni to remain in power. But due to the decisions of the current Raikage, Kumo entered into a war with Konoha, allying with IWA, and he was behind the kidnapping of a dojutsu holder from Konoha, which bittered our relation with Konoha. So now people are suffering due to their monopoly, and want a new Raikage not from Gashira clan. The situation is so dire that Kumo is on door of rebellion under the leadership of my brother A. The rebellion can start any moment, so as soon as you complete your training you should leave. Then he handed over a scroll to Naruto. In this scroll there are 3 steps describing how to master Raiden. However, there is one more step I have added after seeing your strength towards wind and lightning affinity. There is one step you should try which I have mentioned in the bottom. Due to your regeneration and your tenet maybe you could do that, although it is forbidden. But I warn you must try the 4th step after you fully master the first 3 steps. You continue these on your own. However, I will teach you how to use swords, that is kenjutsu. Because none of my students want to learn it. Our training will begin tomorrow at 6. So let's fix. Be described. Next day Naruto woke up in the morning and made 3 shadow clones and ordered them to practice from scroll after forming 1,000 clones each and providing all of them with chakra pills, which he had bought plenty in numbers for trainings only, and he himself went for weapons training. One more thing B did. He asked Naruto to wear weights on all 4 limbs, which Naruto did by wearing 10 pounds each on every limb. Then Naruto continued to train with B in kenjutsu, and his clones went to a clearing to practice Raiden and opened the scroll, and soon they saw the instructions. In the scroll, Naruto, here are the first 3 stages to complete the mastery over lightning element. Lightning is considered as the second most difficult element to control after wind due to the shocks body endures during the training. So here are the steps. First step, you have to convert your chakra to lightning element. Then concentrate a point on top of each finger on your flat palm. Then slowly release the lightning to travel through the fingers and to meet at a single point on the center of the palm. It will look like a web of current from tip of finger to the center of palm. Second step, only to be started after you can maintain the first step on both hands simultaneously for at least 10 minutes. Start with one palm first. From the center of the palm, try to rise the point of connection of all currents in the air while pulling together the fingers. Do the reverse while stretching the fingers so that the mating point will lie down on the palm again. Do this in both palms. This step is over when you could do this in both hands simultaneously for at least 1,000 times in less than 2 minutes. Third step, only to be started after you complete the second step. Put together your palms in front of you in parallel. Then concentrate a single point in between them in air where you have to connect the lightning from all 10 fingertips. Then let the current flow through a bulb to lighten it up without fluctuating, without bursting the bulb with excess flow of current for at least half an hour. Once you could do this and maintain unconsciously, then the right hand element is mastered. Please note, it took me more than 3 years to completely master the element. But with the help of your weapons you could hopefully master them earlier. Forbidden step 1. Only try if you have done all the March 1st steps and if you are confident enough. This step is like an artificial bloodline. Only one with affinity to both wind and lightning can do it. First you have to stand up straight on earth, charge electricity in hand and send it to sky. Soon clouds will be assimilated. Then a lightning will return to your hand and pass through your body. This step is completed when all of lightning can pass through your body, and you don't get shock. After this you can collect the lightning gathered from nature to use for lightning jutsus, which will be way too devastating than normal bodily lightning chakra. For instance, using this if you will fire a C-rank jutsu it will probably act as A-rank, or for a person like you with very strong affinities to wind and lightning may even work, like S-rank or S-rank jutsu. But remember, this was created to use natural lightning, which is far too potent than lightning chakra for jutsus, so there are very few who have ever mastered it. Still, if you could master it, it will be like an artificial bloodline, and the jutsus using this cannot be copied or used. Yes, you heard right. Not even with the Sharingan, unless one doesn't possess same requirements towards the affinity. One more thing, this is known as storm release. Forbidden step 2. This step is another artificial bloodline known as cloud release. In this you have to do the same as forbidden step 1, however you have to do it while charging lightning in hand on water surface or during rain so that both natural water and natural lightning can be gathered on hands. Forbidden step 3, incomplete. This step includes the combination of lightning and fire element. However, no one has mastered it, but it is said it was mastered a long time ago. This was known as burning shock release, due to the speed of it and the devastating burning it created. Hope if you mastered all then you could recreate this. Maybe this will give you some challenge. From Killer B. After reading the scroll, the clones made 3,000 Kage Bunshins and started learning. Soon he started to get a hang of it, and this routine continued for 3 more months. Time skip, 3 months. It has been 4 months for Naruto and Kumo. In last 3 months specifically he trained his ass off in mastering Right-un and Kenjutsu. He became a level 3 out of 5 swordsman and mastered the second level of Right-un. There was a problem though, that was as soon as Naruto mastered his chakra control to S rank level, suddenly he felt that his chakra had increased to 11 times of a Kage, and his chakra control again gets sloppy and went down to high Chunin level, making him to practice the chakra control exercises all over again. Though not once was he bothered or mocked by Kyubi, which was a surprise for him. He also came to know about another Jinchuriki Ni Yujito container of the two-tailed demon cat. He also worked at civilian market using loads of shadow clones when he didn't do training, of course using henge on the clones. He made lots of money through it. So he kept some in his purse Gamachan and the rest in a bank account of a bank which had branches all around the elemental nations for future use by the advice of Yujito. His attire was the same, however his hair was grown and had 2 bangs on both sides of forehead which he had dyed black, and he became a little taller due to hitting a growth spurt just before his 14th birthday a few days ago. Now he was running through the borders of Lightning Country to save his life from the lightning ANBUs of the current Raikage, who found him out and took him as a spy from other country. Unfortunately for Naruto, the civil war in Kumo had finally started, in which A was leading the opposing sides against current Raikage as mentioned by B to Naruto. If it were the older Naruto, then he would have joined B. But this new Naruto had learned quickly when not to poke your nose into others' matters. So his survival instincts kicked in and he started to run quickly to survive being caught in the civil war. But his luck was not with him, because he was being chased by not some random ANBU but by the most elite ANBUs of the Raikage. After running for about 3 hours he came to a halt and looked back. But to his horror the ANBU were coming closer. Naruto again started to run. He was getting closer to the border of Lightning and Earth Country when suddenly a lightning-enhanced kunai hit him on his left thigh and he stumbled, being electrocuted. When he stabilized himself he found at least 10 ANBU standing a few feet away from him. They were panting, as was Naruto. Suddenly one of them said, well, look if it is not the one being trained by the bastard A's brother, the demon. Naruto's eyes widened hearing that, because he was surrounded by a pack of Jinchuriki haters. Even if I gather Kyubi's chakra I can't defeat all of the elite ANBU. So I have to rely on my skills alone. If I gather the red chakra they will know about me and I don't have enough control as Uncle B on Kyubi's chakra. I have to flee as soon as possible or else I am dead, Naruto thought. But unknown to him, Kyubi sensed his emotion of fear and started to push his chakra through Naruto. Naruto gritted his teeth and started to force stop the flow of Kyubi's chakra into him. He succeeded to stop it, which made the Kyubi to frown. Suddenly one of the ANBU blasted a fireball at Naruto, who after feeling the heat dodged it and fired his own fireball. Soon it became a 1 against 10 fights of ninjutsu and taijutsu. Due to years of endurance to pain, Naruto was keeping up good against elites. Soon the ANBU found it annoying and started to throw several high-class jutsus at Naruto, that too in pairs. Soon Naruto found himself in front of 4 huge fireballs. Those were Fire Release, Great Fireball and Fire Release, Fire Dragon Bullet. 4 A-rank Katan jutsus along with 2 of each Lightning Release, Lightning Spear, Lightning Release, Charge Barrage, and then 2 huge lightning dragons were coming towards him thanks to the 2 S-class Lightning Release, Lightning Dragon Bullet, Raria Enden. Naruto could not think of anything. The only A-rank jutsu he knew was Rinnegan. Then he thought to make Kage Bunshin's wall, but the attacks blasted all the clones, which were at least 1,000 and were still coming, though a bit slower. Naruto thought he was getting low on chakra, so he suddenly made a shadow clone and gave it a chakra pill. Soon he saw the attacks coming nearer, and seeing no other option, he and his clone made a giant Rinnegan, combining all their hands and pouring as much chakra as quickly possible, which was at least 5 times worth of Kage level chakra, making the Rinnegan as big as the dome of Hokage Tower. But it became heavy and he threw it away towards the ANBU. Seeing the danger, all of the ANBU jumped back. However, the giant Rinnegan was so powerful that it created a huge explosion when hit with all 10 jutsus. But soon it overpowered them and all jutsus minus Rinnegan were subsided. The Rinnegan kept going and hit Earth by sucking 2 of the ANBUs inside it and churning their bodies. Unfortunately, Naruto was not lucky either. The paralysis due to the kunai hitting his thigh took effect and he could not move his limbs, and his clone was also vanished, and he was hit with the Rinnegan's explosion too. His body was all burned and clothes shattered. His face and body was filled with cuts and bruises, but as the final act he gathered all his chakra and focused his wind element, and said the name of the strongest wind jutsu he knew, which was forbidden for everyone but for him, which he learned from Baki, and he allowed him to use it due to his huge reserves. When he sensed at least 5 ANBU near him, he released with all his strength Forbidden Wind Release, Great Wind Dragon Swords. Suddenly 5 huge dragons made up of wind with long wind swords in place of nose came to life and pierced through the chests of 5 nearby ANBU who didn't have time to dodge, and soon went to their afterlife. Seeing their comrades dead, the rest of the 3 ANBU raced towards Naruto with lightning chakra embedded blades in hands. By that time Naruto was completely shattered. He thought so. Finally the day came. Today I am finally going to be released by this cursed life. What better way? At least I killed 7 elite ANBU ninja, being a genin only by myself. Now I can die happily. Soon Naruto thought about Hinata. Sorry Hinata-chan. I could not make it. I am so sorry. I hope you will find a worthy friend in life. In Suna. By that time, Hinata felt like her heart is going to stop. She suddenly got worried and could not think of anything. Seeing her in distress, Lady Chiyo asked her to rest for some time to calm her mind. But Hinata felt like someone precious is suffering. She clenched her hands tight and closed her eyes. Unknown to her, the eyes of her started to water, and her Byakugan began to glow inside. Her eyelids changed color from lavender to pure white, with a pure lavender ring outside and pure concentric white pupil inside. She prayed to Kami, please Kami. I hope Naruto-kun is alright. Keep Naruto-kun all safe. Back with Naruto. Naruto was dozing. But the jutsus at the place were so high level that the sudden chakra spike got the attention of some more ninjas. In a few seconds, with the 3 ANBU, there were at least 5 jounins, 15 chunins, and 5 ANBU joining forces to see a huge crater that was steaming and bodies of 5 ANBU lightning core. Then there was a battered boy of age not more than 14. Soon all of them started to gather chakra. The previous 3 ANBU just reached Naruto and pierced their blades through Naruto's chest simultaneously as of Q. Soon Naruto's voice choked due to the sudden surge of electricity through his body. He knew his time is approaching. So he remembered Tsunade and Jiraiya for the final time. In Konoha by that time, it was getting dark outside. But Tsunade suddenly felt someone dear to her was getting away from her. She thought loudly, I hope Naruto is okay. Hope Jiraiya found him. Suddenly from the window Jiraiya came out and said, sorry Haim. There is no news of a blonde boy with blue eyes and orange jumpsuit. Yet I feel like something big is going to happen. My instincts are saying that tonight something big is going to happen. It may be good or bad, but it will be big, I'm not sure. Hope Naruto is okay. Tsunade just sighed and hoped her surrogate brother was happy. Back with Naruto. Naruto sighed a content smile. Then something rushed through his chakra system. The Kyubi's chakra, who was trying to keep him alive, but Naruto pushed his chakra out of his system and closed his eyes. He was in his mindscape in front of the big iron bars. He saw Kyubi and locked eyes with him. Kyubi tried to push some chakra, but Naruto repelled it. Kyubi growled, why don't you allow me to heal you? At the rate your pulse is falling, we both will die soon. Though I will reincarnate, but that will take a decade. I don't want to go to afterlife yet. So let me heal you. Naruto hearing that smiled, which confused Kyubi. Then Naruto said, no, furball. Don't do it. It's finally time for us to get separated. You never liked me either, I liked you. However, I always thought you are the cause of my burdens. Yet if not for you I would be dead long ago. But enough is enough, Kyubi. I am fed up with it now. Besides, when I was there you never understood that I never saw you for your power. Even when I drew your chakra, that was never intentionally. So in the final moments of my life I am not breaking that rule to take your chakra consciously. I always saw a friend in you. Because we both were sane in lots of ways. You were locked in me and I was locked inside Konoha. You suffered from inside, I suffered outside from people. The list goes on. I always thought you should have been free though not in Konoha, and then I wanted to live. But now I am not in Konoha and I am at death's door. So, there is just this much I can do now. Hope you will remember that there was a brat as your Jinchuriki who let you free. Kyubi could not understand. Suddenly Naruto walked to the seal and completely ripped it, opening the cage. Kyubi's eyes widened in shock. Naruto then smiled and went near Kyubi and placed one of his hands on its paw and said, that was my best prank ever. I surprised the great Kyubi no Kitsune, so I am freeing you, Kyubi. I was always a fan of freedom. Now I am giving you your freedom back. One request is there though. When I leave my mindscape I will be seconds from my death. Then you please break out of the opened up seal, and before you leave will you please burn my body. I don't want my body to be seen by anyone dear and to know that I am dead. Will you do it? By the way, let's sake hands for goodness sake, and besides I don't want to take any hard feelings to my afterlife. So please forgive me if I had done any misbehave towards you. By the way, you are really furry for ball. You got the softest fur ever I have touched. It's a shame that we could not get along. Hope you will someday find a worthy Jinchuriki. Get ready, Kyubi. That's it. Then Naruto suddenly jumped onto the paws of Kyubi, shocking the fox, and closed the eyes while going to sleep and started to vanish. Outside world, the entire enemy ninjas saw Naruto slump. The ANBU extracted their sword and checked Naruto for a pulse. Suddenly they felt the pulse got too low and were confirmed that enemy is going to die soon. So all the 28 ninjas prepared to return. Back with Naruto in mindscape. Inside Naruto's mindscape, Kyubi sat. He saw at the open doors of the seal and tried to absorb everything and recalled everything Hachibi had said. Soon he saw the fading figure of Naruto in his paws. For the first time in the thousands of years, Kyubi showed an emotion other than anger and frustration, that was sadness. He was looking at the figure of the boy who was so selfless that knowing that he was dying he let him go, who was the cause of all his sorrow. Because he forgave him. That's why even at deathbed he was smiling. Kyubi thought, Hachibi. You were right as always. Maybe I should have given him a chance. After father he was the human who was this selfless. The boy sure had potential. He could have been the strongest Jinchuriki to ever live after father. All of this because of my arrogance. I deserve to die with him. And with that Kyubi closed its door. He was about to close his eyes. He felt a familiar feeling within Naruto, a strong and dense chakra with very intimidating yet soothing aura, which he hadn't felt since his first ever container, Sage of Six Paths, only real child, his daughter. So acting on instinct he thought maybe it's not that late. And opening the seal doors pumped as much chakra in Naruto's chakra system and hoped it worked. Back in real world, one of the ANBU suddenly stopped and asked, did you feel that? Everybody nodded and turned to see the dead body. But when they looked at it their eyes bulged out because the body started to glow and suddenly got covered in a red chakra cloak. In the dark night it looked like only light. The cuts and bruises healed suddenly. All of a sudden the boy grew a tail in its back, but the cloak started to change color from crimson to a sun-blazing eye-blinding golden. The chakra was so intimidating that all of the ninjas, even the elite ANBUs, got on their knees. They had one thought, oh shit. Soon the boy stood up in full glory, bare-chested with a Greek god-like chiseled body surrounded by golden dense aura. But the real shocker came when he opened up his eyes. Seeing those, they had only one thought: it's impossible. Because in front of them were the pair of violet eyes with swirls of white and purple in them, glowing in full fury, which were supposed to be a myth, but they were shining in full glory. Yes, it has finally awakened. The one and the mightiest Dojutsu eyes of the god, the almighty Rinnegan. Before the ninjas could flee they heard a voice: Bansho Tenin, universal pull, and they were suddenly pulled towards the supposedly dead boy and got caught inside golden claw, like chakra appendages. Before anybody could utter a word they got crushed like paper and were dead then and there. After that they were thrown out in a hip. Then Naruto suddenly vanished from the region before anyone else could find him. On the way towards Earth Country he suddenly got stressed out due to using the newly awakened eyes for the first time along with his first perfect Jinchuriki cloak, and fell in a river which took him in its flow towards Tsuchi no Kuni for his next adventure. To be continued. Back in Suna, on top of Kazekage Tower, inside council chambers, the newly instated Godame Kazekage was sitting and listening to all the councilors' ranty complaints. He was seriously getting impatient hearing all the noise which he slowly became accustomed with for quite some time. He was recalling the day when it all started and he was elected as the Kazekage. Inside Gaara's mind, almost after 2 months of Naruto's departure, the council announced that they require a new leader to resolve internal dispute among them. All of the sand villagers were very happy. The councilors asked for candidates to fill the form and submit. Though Gaara was not interested, then he was confronted by Temari. Hey Gaara. I am going to put your name forward for the post of Kazekage. Is it okay with you? Gaara's eyes widened and he asked, why should I even try when nobody will accept me? Besides, the villagers need a strong leader, not some child like me who was a psychopath murderer in past. Suddenly Temari got red due to anger and yelled at Gaara, who said that you are a murderer? That was all, Shikaku. You are not a murderer. You are my cute little brother. And for the strong ninja part, for your kind information, currently there is no one stronger than you and Suna to handle the mantle, because you are our strongest ninja, believe it or not. So I am going to put your name forward. Even if no one supports Kankuro, and I will support you. The council wants a toy, but if you became Kazekage, they will always remain at edge before making a wrong decision in the fear of facing your wrath. So who better than the so-called Suna's ultimate weapon to become its Kage and protect it from outsiders? Besides, that way you will always remain busy and won't have time to think of blood. Unknown to them, Kankuro had listened to that, and he recorded it for future use and had left. Then Gaara said, but I want to protect only you and Kankuro. Only you two are my precious people. I want to save you. So if I become Kage, won't I get far from you? And I don't want to go away from my family. Temari had tears in her eyes after listening to Gaara. She then hugged Gaara tightly and said, if you want to protect us, then become the Kazekage. That way in council room you will be Kazekage and Kankuro will be represented as the head of Sabaka clan. I am the Suna Konoha diplomat, so you will be able to control the time I will be away. Try to understand, Gaara. Once the power is in your hand, you will be able to keep us united, because your words will then be final. One more thing, Gaara. If you want to help Naruto in future, then better become a Kage, which he could not become. Believe me, Gaara, when Naruto will hear about this, he will be very happy. In that way you will be able to take all the political decisions. If we want, I will help you. You know how good I am at politics and negotiations. After that, Temari left Gaara in his thoughts. In the afternoon that day, Kankuro had broadcasted the conversation on radio. When people heard about that, they realized all was true. Their greatest fear could be their greatest savior. Then the civilian side appealed to council to consider Gaara because he was not that insane as before. In fact, after the Tsunodo invasion, he became very calm and joined the elite Jounin ranks. His record stated that during his Jounin career in all his missions, no one, either the client or the sand ninjas with them, ever got a scratch on them. Thus he became the finest Jounin available for the Kage candidate. Soon there were some discussions, and that evening Gaara was summoned to the council room. In council room everyone was at edge just by his presence. After a while one councilwoman stood up to bow before Gaara. We are sorry for our behavior towards you, Gaara-san, but we now have understood our mistakes. We want you as our savior. So will you please accept the mantle and become the fifth Kazekage? Everyone was silent because Gaara didn't say anything but looked at all of them critically with no expression in the eyes. Several people were murmuring, some were in favor and a few were not. Soon one counselor spoke. Why should we choose him? He is just a 16-year-old boy, not some adult. He can't even save his own family if attacked. Look, he could not speak anymore as Gaara encased him in sand and his sands were swirling violently. Looking at this, the counselor's personal guards tried to attack Temari, who didn't have her fan in the chambers. But before anyone can do anything, they were crushed in sand and crippled viciously. Everyone's eyes widened in horror, thinking Gaara lost control. The remaining candidate and counselors started at the doors but were blocked by sand wall. Then Gaara turned around. Unknown to the counselors, Kankuro had placed a hidden camera, and all of this was broadcasted throughout the village in sands. Everyone was at edge seeing the state at which Gaara was and thought it was reasonable because her unarmed sister was being attacked. Soon Gaara turned around and spoke in his regular voice. You should not have done that. And crushed the counselor like he was a tin can. His sands were drenched in blood. At this all got horrified, but they exhaled air which they didn't know they had held back in lungs because Gaara was in control. Then he turned to the rest and spoke with steel in his voice. Look. I don't care what your decision is. But stay away from my family. I will kill anyone who attacks those who are precious to me. They accepted me their whole life, not like you who despised me because of Shikaku. Whoever becomes the leader among you, but keep in mind you keep one step inside the line for my family, and I swear you will see what I will do to protect them. I will kill them, whoever it is, Kage or not. Then Gaara left with Temari bounded inside the sands. Everyone sighed in relief as the atmosphere calmed down. Then nobody said anything for a while, but soon a fat old man named Kamadaboru, a supporter of the crushed counselor, spoke. You saw what he did. He is ruthless against anyone who did wrong. He didn't even give him any chance to apologize. He is overprotective of his family, and doesn't spare anyone who attacks them. He is very unstable like the demon inside him. In council meetings clashes happen. But killing someone like that is insane. He is very cold-hearted and hence unable to be the Kage. We better choose someone else. He reasoned, trying to convince others. But he was so wrong. Listening at his words, several people from Shinobi's side realized that Gaara was like that, what they currently needed in a Kage. A cold-hearted yet lover of justice who will go 80 of the line to protect anyone dear to him. Soon one counselor asked the Jounin commander, what do you think, Baki? Should we still press on Gaara becoming the Kazekage or choose someone else? Baki smirked inwardly. He was confirmed from the recent incident that they were not concerned about village, rather about themselves. Because if Gaara becomes the Kage, then they will have to choose the accurate words before opening their mouth to demand something. Because one wrong word and your eyes will open in afterlife. He could literally see the fear in their eyes, thinking that under Gaara it will be like a proper military village, completely disciplined. And Baki loved discipline. He knew he must speak carefully so that no one could argue against him, because as the Jounin commander his opinion and recommendations were looked upon high regards, and if he could reason perfectly then maybe his dream to work under a worthy Kage may come true. Besides, as Sabaka's sibling sensei he could relate with Gaara more adeptly than others and could turn the Sand Village's status to go higher. So he then spoke. Kamidabura-san, before this meeting started I was not in favor of Gaara, so if you had asked me then I would have named someone else from the remaining candidates. Hearing this, Kamidabura smiled, thinking Baki sided with him, but soon he frowned when Baki opened his mouth again. But after the current incident, I am bound to say that there is no one more eligible than Gaara to be the Kazekage, because as you said, though he is young he is our strongest ninja. You just witnessed as proof of what he did to the Jounins. Besides, that's not the problem, as he will have advisors for that. But my point is he is very fond of justice because of the injustice he got in his whole life. He is ruthless against them who dare to overstep the line between him and his loved ones. So if we made him the Kage it will be a wise decision, because then he will be loved not feared, and he will consider all as his family, in this case the whole village and its residents. As you all witnessed a few moments ago what he does for protecting his loved ones, then you could easily imagine what he will do to protect all villagers if he considers the entire village as his family. So I recommend we should obtain the protection of the so-called demon Shikaku rather than living in fear of it by electing Gaara as Kazekage, who could control it and will use the powers to protect. We just need to provide him as lots of love, which he could obtain as the 5th Kazekage. So I, Baki, Jounin commander of Suna, hereby support the decision of making Gaara of the Sabaku clan to be instated as Kazekage of the village hidden in the sands. Gaara was walking through the corridors of Kazekage Tower with Temari. When he came to the exit he saw what he never imagined. All the villagers were there demanding him to accept the position. He could hear "We want Gaara, Gaara. You are the best. We love you," and even could hear some squeals. He is so handsome and mysterious. The look in the eyes. Oh Kami. As he was not accustomed to such attention he suddenly lifted his guard, but then let it go as he saw the looks in their eyes. The looks were of love, regret, and apology. He sighed, realizing that finally they accepted him. He finally got what he always wanted. He had proved his existence to everyone. But he thought how it happened. He then saw the screens all over Suna playing the talks and actions which occurred inside council chambers. He then saw Kankuro waving hands and smiling mischievously, which proved everyone saw everything, and that made them to believe in him. He smiled. Kankuro, you truly are a brother. Soon every councillor came and declared that by people's choice and by the anonymous vote, resulting 20:3 in favor of Gaara, they have elected Gaara as the Godame Kazekage. To say Gaara was shocked would be an understatement. Never in his life had he thought that he will rule the place which used to hate him. After 2 days he officially became the Kazekage. How did this happen? When you will know that I have achieved that you wanted to achieve in your village, it'll be seeing your face. He came out of stupor. When the meeting was about to end, a ninja from Lady Chiyo informed that something happened to Hinata last night, and she wanted to see him soon. Gaara immediately dismissed the council and left for the hospital. At hospital, on a bed Hinata was lying. Her body was shining like the white moon, especially her closed eyes. Near her bed was Lady Chiyo. She was rather curious than concerned. Suddenly the door opened and in came Gaara in his Kazekage robes. He saw Hinata. He became serious because he always thought Hinata a responsibility which Naruto had requested him with till he comes back. So he asked what happened to her. Tamisi looks sick. But something tells me there is more to her than that. Chiyo bowed before him and said hi. Kazekage-sama. Last night she suddenly became sick and suddenly started crying. First I thought it was hectic stress and the hardcore training she is undergoing. But during the whole night she was going on and on about Naruto-kun. Just a few hours ago she became stable, and then it seemed like she got relaxed all of a sudden. Then her body started to glow, especially her eyes. From all of my experiences, I came to one conclusion, that it's because of her attachment to that boy. She has very deep feelings for him. Could you clarify a bit? Gaara asked. I am not fully sure about what I am going to say, rather it's a suspicion. The girl is bearer of one of the 3 superior Kekkei Genkais, Byakugan, from which the fearsome Sharingan was created. Of course that is a belief. But if we assume that these 2 Dujutsus are like 2 sides of a coin, as the name suggests, Sharingan, Devil's Eye, and Byakugan, Angel Eyes, then we could find it disturbing that, how come one-eyed the Sharingan needs dark emotions to achieve gradually to its 3-tomo stage, but Byakugan does not react to any feelings? So I think her eyes are getting influenced by her strong feelings towards the boy. They feed upon her feelings. I think while Sharingan needs negative feelings, Byakugan needs positive. In this case the girl's love is a very pure positive feeling, and her feelings became so strong last night that the eyes could not adjust to such huge amount of feelings and overabsorbed them. Chiyo replies. Gaara looked at her impassively. What does that mean? Gaara asked, being worried. Lady Chiyo sighed. To put it simply, I think her Byakugan is evolving or transforming. I guess her Byakugan is changing to next level. But that is a guess. Chiyo replied. Gaara simply nodded and ordered, if anything new comes out, let me know first. Till then don't mention anything about that to anyone unless we are sure. Chio nodded and Gaara left the hospital. Meanwhile in Konoha, it's been more than 1 year since Naruto was banished. Not that anybody misses him other than Tsunade, Jiraiya, who tended to remain out of village for longer after that, and probably Ayame and Tuchi, because he was their best customer, and now their business was on a lower side. The Hokage tended to divulge in work and sake after that because she missed her annoying surrogate brother so much. Yet that was not the only reason. Her apprentice Sijun got pregnant 2 months ago and went on maternity leave. The council caught up on this opportunity and forced her to take another apprentice who could be proficient in medical jutsus under her tutelage. The said girl was Haruno Sakura. The same girl from the ex-Konoha 11, called Naruto a monster after she knew about him. Now the slug Sanin was forced to teach her in medical ninjutsu. She cursed her luck a lot, because if Sijun didn't go on leave, then she won't have to take another apprentice. According to her, Sakura had changed a bit. She got somewhat serious in being a kunoichi, became a chunin. That was because her mother was head of civilian council. Her control over chakra was a lot better than some of the jounins, but that was because of her smaller reserves. But the worst part was her anger had not subsided at all, rather increased after Sasuke was imprisoned by Fire Daimyo to the level that anyone who slightly commented about her forehead got severe beating, and some cases were worse where the victims were attacked by her chakra scalpel. Overall, according to Tsunade, she was annoying and they both never got along well during the short period. The more annoying thing was the council tried their best to get their precious last Uchiha out of the prison under the daimyo. After a lot of talking, the daimyo finally decreased his punishment from 2 years to 18 months. So now the bastard was just 3 months away from returning to village. That was not the only problem for Konoha though. Some days ago, she got the words that Gaara became the Godame Kazekage. The news was like a shock to the entire council. She could still recall the faces of people who just sighed. A lot of are the Suna council insane, to make a demon their leader, and someone said troublesome, just by the fact that their alliance with Suna will get bitter after that, because everyone knew that the new Kazekage thought of Naruto as a brother, and even prohibited Konoha ninjas from entering the Sand Village. Now that he was their leader, he may cut down the alliance. True to their fear, just after a week of the news reached Konoha, Suna sent the final check of 10 million ryo at a time rather than usual 3 million, along with a scroll stamped by the Kazekage for the Hokage. After reading the letter, everyone was visibly sweating, because Gaara had cut down every trade route with Konoha, which will have a huge negative impact on their economy. Not only had that he paid all of the rest money which was demanded from Konoha for the invasion, now the alliance was on a thread that if anyone attacks Konoha, Suna will join Konoha to fight against them, and they expect vice versa. A lot of comments and hard words were said against Suna that day, and Danzo even proposed to attack. But Tsunade stopped them that after the back out of wave in Sand Village, their already dwindling economy will fell down more. At this time, a war will severely cramp Konoha, so, everyone silenced. Behind the desk, doing piles of paperwork, Tsunade sighed. She took out a bottle of sake and had a sip. She got up and went near the window to look at the village. She thought, where are you, brat? About whom even Jiraiya had no clue at all. When she turned, her mood dampened again looking at all the increasing paperwork. Meanwhile at the Raikage Tower in Kumo, the civil war in Kumo had started the day before. The Raikage, in fact all the members of Gashira clan were in very bad mood. The Raikage was in the war planning section discussing about how to subdue the opposing party, namely A and his brother. A knock came from outside the room. What is it? Raikage Hira asked. Raikage-sama. There is an emergency in the morgue room, which requires your kind attention. The ninja replied. I'll be there shortly. It better be something important, else you all will see why you should not disturb during an important war strategy discussion session, the Raikage replied. The ninja started seating. I will inform about your arrival, Raikage-sama, the ninja said and vanished. Half an hour later, the Raikage reached at the morgue and saw a large heap of something surrounded by medics and ninjas. He went near it. What is all this commotion? He harshly asked. They all gulped, knowing very well that their leader will not be very happy knowing about this development, especially when the civil war is raging. After a bit of silence, one ninja spoke. Raikage-sama. Today one of our patrolling ninja troops was on the duty of border patrolling. They were near the border of Lightning Country and Earth Country, and they saw huge craters, debris all around. They felt like a massive fighting of high-end ninjutsu took place there. So they went near one of the crater which was smoking like burned inside out by some chakra attack of high concentration. That was disturbing as it looked like work of a ninja with very high chakra reserves. But that was not the thing which bothered them. The real shocker was when they found what the half-burned scorched figures were. And they found out this. Suddenly the ninja pulled the cloth covering the heap, and the Raikage's eyes widened seeing that. Because in front of him were half-burned, thoroughly squeezed out of blood and half-crippled dead bodies of ninjas lying on the floor. What is the meaning of all this? Who are they? The Raikage roared. Sir! They are our ninjas who were on guard duty last night. It seems that some ninja of high caliber was fighting with them, and eventually he won. One ninja replied. The real problem is when we tested them out. Our test results show that first they were pulled viciously by some force, and then held tightly by some chakra and force chains to the end that the bones in their bodies were broken. But the enemy didn't stop there. He then engulfed them in some sort of tight hold, crushing them to the extent that all of the blood in their bodies oozed out, rupturing their nerves and instantly killing them. So we made a test on the leftover chakra to ensure how many of them were there and what is the estimated capacity of the ninja. We are currently waiting for reports, the chief medic said. Are the enemy ninjas with the rebellion? The Rinnegan asked angrily. But inwardly he was frightened of if there are some strong ninjas with the rebellion group. The door opened and in came a guy to hand over a file to the medic, who opened it. His eyes widened in horror. The Rinnegan snatched the file and saw it was the report of the chakra signature. He then saw there was chakra signature testing results showing all of the foreign signatures showing very high concentration of chakra, with the carbon dating test of dead bodies showing that all of them were killed at once. But the real surprise, or rather shock, came when his eyes fell upon the last lines that concluded unknown signature. There was only one person recognized with chakra reserves estimated at least twice of a Kage. Ridiculous. This report says there were not many ninjas, but there was only one ninja who did it. Have you checked it properly? The Rinnegan asked. Hi. Rinnegan-sama. In fact, I made it examined thoroughly thrice, and still the report says the same thing. The doctor replied. There is only one known ninja in Kumo with such high reserves, the Eight-Tails Jinchuriki. But your report shows the enemy ninja is neither him nor is he from Kumo. Moreover, he single-handedly killed several of our ninjas, such ruthlessness that shows he is indeed powerful. Is he with the rebellion? The Rinnegan asked, looking at a ninja. I am sure that he is not with the rebels. Nor he is in Kumo anymore for that matter either. The ninja replied. How so? The Rinnegan asked. Our ninja reports show that there are footprints suggesting of a person crossing the Earth country borders late last night. The nin replied. Do we have anything else on this ninja? Perhaps he could be some missing nin from IWA. After all, they are known for their ruthlessness. The Rinnegan asked. Negative. Rinnegan-sama. Any possible evidence are burned due to some burn marks and utter devastation of the clearing. We don't know anything about him. The ninja replied dryly. The Rinnegan was not happy at all. He was up against an enemy about whose abilities they know nothing. That was unacceptable. Suddenly a slight smile appeared on his face. He may have killed some ninjas. But killing a bunch of genins doesn't mean you are powerful, even if they are hundreds in number. What do you say, Red? How many genins were killed in the crossfire? The Rinnegan asked to the ANBU, codenamed Red, with a mask imprinted with red-colored lightning marks on it. He was the one who was reporting till now, and now he too was sweating. Well, our Rinnegan-sama? There was not a single genin among the dead, Red replied. What? So are all of them chunins, you say? The Rinnegan asked. There were chunins in them. But they were not all chunins. There were 15 chunins, 5 jounins, and Red trailed off. And what Red? The Rinnegan asked again. 10 of our elite jounins, Rinnegan-sama. Red replied with fright in his eyes. To say the Rinnegan was furious would be like to say Naruto liked ramen a little. No, he was beyond pissed. He wanted to just find out who it was and how he killed his soldiers. If the said ninja could kill 10 of his elite ANBU and fled without being captured, then he could be a problem if he sides with rebels. Put him in the bingo book and issue an order of retreat if came across for anyone under ANBU level. The Rinnegan ordered and rushed out of the room. By the time Suna, Chio was about to leave for the evening rounds when she heard some rustling on the bed. So she turned and saw Hinata waking up. She went near her and helped to sit on bed. Hinata slowly woke up. She looked much different. Her body seemed to change a bit, especially her skin, which was much pale in color, that it seemed like if she was made up of white clay. Chio noted down all changes and she was about to ask Hinata to open eyes, but before she could ask, Hinata herself opened her eyes and saw she was in the hospital. She saw Chio was staring into her eyes, and seeing her wide eyes, Hinata looked straight in the mirrors placed in front of the bed. What she saw almost put her again in senselessness. In the mirror was her reflection, but her eyes were not the same as before she left consciousness. They looked a lot different. They were not the ugly lavender eyes with veins bulging from it. Her pupil was white in color. The previous veins in her eyes used to pop up here and there, but now there was one lavender vein, a bit thicker one, around the whole eye. It was no more ugly. Your eyes have become beautiful, girl. Chio replied and started checking for any other injuries. After some time she cleared Hinata of any danger or illness, and advised to take some rest and left. Hinata was so tired that she again fell asleep. The next morning Hinata was discharged and again started to do her medic duties. After Naruto left, she completely divulged into learning every tit and bit of medicines and body structures. It was not even more than a year and she started to show progress in every aspect of medical field, including poison detection and making, antidote preparations, any external injury, anything including anatomy. But the one thing she surpassed the chief medic of Suna, Chio, was the field of internal surgery of critical injuries. Even Chio herself started to believe that in time she would even surpass the slug Sannin of Konoha, Senju Tsunade, and would take the mantle of the best medic of all elemental nations. Hinata never let it to go to her head. Rather, she prepared herself to the most as her promise to Naruto to become stronger. Daily she would make a kage bunshin to read all the medic books and scrolls available in hospital library till evening by giving chakra pills as mentioned by Naruto because her chakra was not that much to hold up for long hours, and also she was a medic in hospital where she had to be at her best. Till now she had read almost all sections including surgery, medicines, poisons, herbs, orthopedics and even childbirth. So Chio then provided her with her personal collection retrieved from different nations. Hinata had become the second most knowledgeable medic in Suna by now. Her water manipulation was also coming good though. Now she was about to master the third and final level, that was to make a waterfall from normal pond water. Hinata had already done it, but she was yet to hold that for at least 15 minutes. She was sure within next month she will achieve it. Now she prepared to treat a shinobi who was cramping on foot. Apparently his ankle twisted somewhere, and hence he was limping. Hinata was there and she activated her Byakugan to see what happened. But instead of just seeing the chakra flow, she saw some red and black spots along with regular chakra and pushed a bit chakra. To her amazement she felt like her chakra control was much better suddenly, and she could send very thin chakra needles into one's system to detect the problem, and that she did. Hinata pushed chakra to all red and black spots and they turned regular chakra color. Then she could see some shining white dots and presses, one on the ankle that was a bit bigger than other. Suddenly the ninja went on guard feeling some pain in his foot and jumped from bed. But when he realized that he was again standing perfectly without any trace of pain in the ankle, he could not believe it. A few moments ago he was in very painful condition and suddenly he was cured. Even best of the best medic would have advised to take leave for a week and rest. But Hinata didn't advise it. Instead she made him eligible instantly to join his duty. A senior medic had seen that and suddenly asked Hinata, "What did you do?" "I checked him personally. There was no chance that he could stand for at least a week." "How you treated her? Tell me." He was about to press on, but suddenly Chio came and told him that doesn't concern you. Every medic has his her secrets. "Hi," the medic replied and left. "Now you both come with me." Chio ordered the ninja and Hinata into her cabin. She ordered the ninja to lay there without any dress minus his underwear, and asked him it was because she wanted to test Hinata's ability in making body better instantly. The ninja knew he was being experimented on, but for the sake of Suna agreed. "What did you see previously, my dear?" Chio asked. "Chio-sensei. When I saw his ankle using my Byakugan I saw two systems. One was the chakra system and the other was a green system. Those were situated in all muscles. I saw some difference in color in both systems at the points where the ankle was twisted and channeled some chakra which was much thinner than regular chakra needles." Then suddenly Ninja-san got up and was completely healthy. Hinata replied, "Will you please see again the chakra system as well as the secondary system and mark each point individually with different pointers?" Chio asked. Hinata nodded and marked the chakra systems in red and secondary systems in white. Chio proceeded to note down all and opening some scrolls started to scribble down some notes. Then she looked at Hinata. "What were you thinking last night, dear?" "I was worried about Naruto-kun. It felt like something happened to him. But in the morning I felt like whatever it was passed on. So I got relaxed and woke up." Hinata replied in embarrassment. "Whatever it was, it had some very good effect on your eyes, my dear. According to me now you can see the pressure point system as well as the tenketsu points. However, it seems that your eyes can now see the color in them and can detect automatically where the defect lies. Not like your old eyes which could only detect black and white chakra signature. One more thing, look at the chakra points on the red system. You didn't notice, but now you can see more than just the limited 64 tenketsus issued by your clan. The numbers show that you are now able to see 128 tenketsus in total, including one sub-tenketsu point for one main tenketsu point in the chakra network. There are 3 sub-tenketsus per main tenketsu point for a human body. And the new system you saw is the pressure point system. So I would say whatever happened with your eyes, it certainly made them not only more beautiful but also more adequate for the medical, or I should say the life-saving field. I think your eyes are still not evolved completely, but if you continue like this you will make them evolve completely very soon. Keep you the good work, dear." With that said, Chio and Hinata left. Hinata again started her good work with the patients. In a village in the Earth country near the village hidden in the rocks, Naruto's unconscious form which fell into a river was flowing along with the river. Naruto didn't even know that he was in fact had entered into Tsuchi no Kuni. Soon he came to a halt when the river slowed down, entering a plain region, and somehow became a lot calmer. Kyubi was at work by sending chakra into Naruto to heal his body quickly, but Naruto was still unconscious, both in body and in his mind too. He was very stressed out after his first time use of the Rinnegan, due to which his body started to reboot itself to suit its best for the use of the legendary dojutsu. During the week his body had suddenly hit a growth spot. Due to the activation of the Rinnegan and it accepting Naruto's body, Naruto's physical appearance was skyrocketed. Now he was having a body chiseled like a Greek god and muscles were slightly pulsing all over the body, not bulging heavily yet they were prominent due to the result of years of physical conditioning. There were thin outline of 6 abs pulsing. To give it a heavenly look he was completely bare from waist to head. To add even more spice to the looks he was soaked in water completely. The prominent change in his body was in his face, which now had lost all the baby fat, and hence looked a bit longer with a broad jaw line giving him an exotic manly look. His eyes were tightly shut though. The more visible change was his hairs, which were a bit longer than they were and more unruly than ever, looking more like the Yondaime, Hokage, with 2 bangs of hair covering his face. They looked like threads of gold despite of being hairs. The only change in the hair color was they had tinges of red color at the edge of the hair, making it godlier. All in all, though Naruto was unconscious, Naruto's physical appearance was enough to give a good nosebleed to any conscious sane woman. That's what happened with the 13-year-old girl who was fishing near the river bank and suddenly noticed something was near the shore and out of curiosity went near there. When her eyes fell on Naruto, her blood started to boil, making her a bit horny. Suddenly a drop of blood dropped from her nose and fell on the ground. She then controlled her nose by keeping a hand on her nose. She could not believe that such a handsome guy was lying on the ground. Out of curiosity she dropped her fishing rod and went near Naruto to inquire whether he was alive or not. She placed her hands on the boy's well-built abdomen and felt it was warm. That meant the boy was alive, much to her happiness, but was unconscious. She got relaxed a bit and could not help it out as her hands went out of her control to explore more of the boy's buffed chest, biceps, triceps and abdomen. Suddenly she came to a stop when she realized that she was in fact on the verge of a massive nosebleed. Then she took her hands off from Naruto's body to make a cup shape in front of her mouth. She called out loudly, "Hey, Kaida. Look what I got here." After a while a lady in her late 70s came out from behind the bushes with red-colored hair with some strands of white in them flowing due to the wind of the shore. She was also having her own fishing rod and asked, "What is it, May? You just let me lose my fish. What on earth happened? Hey. Don't make such faces. Look, I was fishing here on this side and saw this guy was lying unconscious near the shore. I don't know who he is, but from looks he needs desperate treatment. I think we should help him." The girl, now known as May, replied, "Since when have you become a social worker?" Kaida retorted and slowly went near Naruto. She examined him a bit and stated him. "Oh, so that's why you want to help him, eh? He seems quite a catch, girl. Nice fishing, I must say." Kaida teased May, making her blush slightly. "Look. I don't know what you are saying, but he seems to be in need of urgent nursing," May replied with stuttering. After that both May and Kaida went near Naruto. Then Kaida suggested, "We need to take him home. Else the situation may get worse." Then both of them carried Naruto on their shoulders and proceeded towards their residence. After they reached their home, they placed him on a bed which was lying on the floor, and immediately called for a doctor. After treating Naruto, the doctor said he seems to be a ninja and his body is in severe strain due to overuse of some abilities, I guess. Any normal person would have died twice at least before bearing this level of strain in all over the body. But still he seems to be in pristine condition, and my god, what amazing healing. Within a few hours the cuts and bruises marks have already disappeared without any trace. At this rate he will come to consciousness within a maximum 2 days. So see you then. Bye. May was happy and went to her home to see her father because it was already noon, and she was getting late for lunch. Kaida was left alone with Naruto. Kaida sat down near Naruto and closely observed him. She thought, this boy seems quite familiar. He reminds me of someone very close to me, but who? I can't remember. I think the old age is finally taking toll on my memory. I may be getting senile. Still the unruly blonde hair, the facial features with tinges of red in the hair. Wait, red in the hair. But that red seems as of the Uzumaki clan blood red hair. But all of our clan was wiped out. Still, could he be another survivor? But he seems quite young, not more than 14, at best 16, but Whirlpool was destroyed much earlier than that. Yet could he be? She trailed off thinking. In Suna, since the incident with Hinata, almost a week had passed. It was a very fine day for the Godame Kazekage Gaara. It was a little over 3 months for him as village leader, and everything so far was coming along good. The council was most happy about that, because slowly and steadily the economy of Suna, which fell to dump during the rule of the 4th Kazekage and later due to the invasion, was slowly stabilizing. It was all because their chosen Kazekage took some major decision regarding funds distribution, and moreover Suna got the alliance of Wave, though temporary, which was in desperate need of one of the hidden villages and their ninja support. Since then Suna paid full tax to the daimyo as their overall business skyrocketed, as they could now sail on sea, thanks to Wave, and also the extra 30% budget hike by the fire daimyo. Now it was even better, as after a long period of ignorance the daimyo of Wind Country was visiting the hidden village. He was the son of the ex-daimyo who died of old age a few months ago and left his throne for the successor. Gaara was eagerly waiting for the opportunity to gain some extra funds and to make relationship a bit better with the new daimyo, which was at threshold during the reign of 4th Kazekage. Alongside him were his 2 advisors Baki and Temari. Soon after a long wait the caravan of Wind Daimyo arrived, heavily guarded by samurai soldiers and some selected sand ninjas. Gaara went to the caravan to welcome. Soon the daimyo's caravan door opened and out came the daimyo. He was a fair man in his early 30s and a healthy body, neither very thin nor very fat. He saw Gaara. Good to see you arrived to Suna, daimyo-sama. I, Sabaku no Gaara, 5th Kazekage of the Hidden Sand Village, welcome you heartily to our village. It's an honor to have the Wind Daimyo after so long. Gaara greeted. It's nice to see you too, Garadano. I, Shinjen no Rei, the current Wind Daimyo accept the offer wholeheartedly. I see you have changed the environment of the village quite a lot. I am looking forward to my stay in here. The daimyo replied. Suddenly the sound of a faint cry was heard inside the caravan. Gaara was a bit tensed. Soon a lady in an expensive white kimono came down the caravan. She was very pale in color, and very gorgeous. But the noteworthy part was her belly, which was bulging, showing clearly that she was pregnant, and was on the verge of giving birth any time. Gaara thought he was not prepared for that. So she looked at Temari, who saw the worry in Gaara's eyes and smiled, assuring that she had already informed the hospital staff. Gaara relaxed and turned to Wind Daimyo, giving a questioning look about the lady. I want you to meet my dear wife Shinjen no T. I thoroughly apologize for not informing about her arrival along with us in the letter. You see, Daimyo trailed off when he saw the lady was about to faint, and he didn't have time to catch her. He got worried because as his wife nobody else were to touch her bodily according to the tradition. The lady fell down suddenly but not on ground. Gaara made a makeshift bed of sand to catch her. The daimyo relaxed. I am sorry, Deo-sama, but if I did not catch Lady Daimyo, then she would have fallen on the belly, which could have negative results. Besides, I know about the tradition very well, and hence I am within my limit to not touch her bodily, but it is my sand that caught her. Gaara replied with a bow. It's the very thought that saved us to face any unwanted repercussions. Thank you for the help. It will be better if we could talk in your office. The daimyo replied. Hi. Daimyo-sama. Temari informed Chiyoba-sama about the arrival and treatment of Lady Daimyo-sama. Please, if His Excellency could come along this way. Gaara requested. Soon the daimyo left with Gaara, and his wife was sent to the hospital to be attended by Chiyo herself. Soon both Gaara and Rai entered in the Kazekage tower. Upon entering into the office, both of them sat together without anyone interrupting them. Even all the ANBU stationed in the room were dismissed, leaving the Wind Daimyo and the Kazekage alone to their discussions. Soon tea arrived, and both of them had a cup in their hands. If it doesn't affect the relationship between us, Daimyo-sama, may I ask why Lady T is accompanied with His Excellency? I don't intend to offend you, but she seems in no condition to travel, and I think in the palace of our Wind Daimyo there is nothing that can't be arranged. We are honored to serve Lord and Lady Daimyo, still it doesn't sit well why Lady T had to travel whereas she can have any facility at the palace. Gaara asked. Now we can understand why you were chosen as the leader at such young age. Indeed there are reasons, but no one could find it. You are a true observer of things to see the matters hidden quietly. Indeed there are reasons. We are not offended you asked though. You see, as our wife is in this condition and the specialist team suggested taking her into a hospital for better care and availability of equipment, we could have left her in the hospital in the Wind capital, but they upon examination informed about some complications during her pregnancy which could be cured by someone of high caliber. We at the time asked if we could take her to Lady Tsunade in Fire Country, but they explained that Lady Daimyo are in no condition for traveling long distances. Hence we were to settle with Lady Chiyo in Suna, who is known as the second best medic in all the elemental nations, and besides there were some death threats concerning our child to be born. Hence keeping her under our observation was the best option I had, because we didn't want to postpone our visit to Sand Village for any reasons whatsoever. The daimyo replied. I understand, Daimyo-sama. I am increasing the security of Lady T. 2 ANB guards will always be there for any matter. I am assigning 2 of our current best medics at her service. Gaara wrote down a scroll and stamped it. Then he sent it to the hospital. We want to know who the other person you have assigned, and is she any good for that matter? The daimyo asked. She is the apprentice of Lady Chiyoba-sama. Within a year she has improved so much that she could even surpass Lady Tsunade of the Sanins of the Fire Country. She is considered as the best surgeon at the moment within the Wind Country at the moment. Gaara described. Suddenly a ninja came in, and before anyone can question he informed Lady T is in her labor and suddenly fell unconscious. Kazekage-sama and Daimyo-sama, forgive my trespassing, but both of your presence is utterly necessary. Both of them went into the hospital. Upon entering they could see Lady Chiyo out in front of T's room. She greeted both of them and informed Daimyo-sama. Lady T has fallen unconscious due to the fatigue of labor. The complications are far too great. Her body is very weak for pregnancy. Her internal injuries are far too complex. But we think it can be operated, and though she is unconscious we think our top surgeon will be able to operate her. We need your authorized signatures for further proceedings. Then she handed over 2 official papers to sign. We would like to see Lady T before signing on the paper. The daimyo ordered. Chiyo nodded and took him into the operation theater behind a screen. He could see the feeble body of his wife. Sound of whimpering and very slow beeping of the 4. He cried out to see her. He went out of the OT. Then seriously turned to Chiyo and asked, do you think she could be saved? To tell the truth, her lack of eating has resulted into this situation. The chance of her survival is just above 5%. It will take a miracle to save her, Chiyo informed and sighed. The daimyo heard her, and told he wanted to see the operation myself. Then Chiyo asked him he could see it but outside the OT where he can see everything via a see-through glass. He nodded and signed the document, then proceeded to watch the operation. The operation started and T was seen under too much pressure. After about 2 hours of trying hardly, it could be seen that the force suddenly became too slow, and T's nerves started giving up. All of the surgeons had given up and started to leave only two, Hinata and Chio. It's hopeless. We won't be able to save either the child nor the mother. We tried our best. It needs utmost chakra control to create the only necessary instrument at the moment, that is the supreme scalpel. Unfortunately, none of us have that. I think at this moment there is only Tsunade who could save her. Stop the procedure, Chio ordered. She came out of the room and went near the daimyo to explain everything that happened. She had a very wary look. Inside the room, Hinata was standing, her chakra scalpel activated. In her thought, I can't help her. Why? I am so weak. All this studying of medicine scrolls and books, and still I can't do anything. My Byakugan is not strong enough. Suddenly the images of Naruto severely injured and battered came into her view, and she saw in them that she was unable to help him. I am not even able to help this small child who is not even born. How will I be able to save Naruto-kun? I failed you, Naruto-kun. She was on the verge of giving up when anime edge of heavily battered Naruto came into her thought, yelling, no matter what happens, I am not going to give up, because I never go back on my words. That's my ninja way. Suddenly she felt new strength in herself, boosting up her self-confidence. She was so perked up that there was only one thought in her mind, and that was to save the innocent child. Thinking all this with a determination that she never had, she channeled as much chakra as possible to her eyes, strengthening her eyes. Outside the OT, Operation Theater, Chio was about to declare the bad news to the daimyo, but before she could utter a single word, everyone felt a very high chakra pulse coming from the inside of the OT. Every ninja stiffened at that, but soon they all felt like they are never relaxed before like now. The chakra was dense but so soothing that everybody felt relaxed. But when it kept on hitting like waves, Gaara, Chio and the daimyo all went to the glass doors to see what was happening. When they reached there, their eyes widened, looking at what, or rather who was doing what. Chio entered into the OT and froze when she saw Hinata's appearance. Hinata was changed. Her lavender eyes were emitting white chakra rays towards the body of the lady daimyo, who by that time was back to normal health, and beside her was her little baby boy. They were staring at Hinata. Hinata's eyes were not regular Byakugan eyes. Her pupil was complete serene white surrounded by pale lavender border, and the previously unruly nerves were shaped up in a circular pattern around her eyes and were deep purple in color. The noteworthy thing was in Hinata's one hand was a very thin chakra scalpel which was densely white in color, and in another hand was some chakra gloves, which were holding up the body of Lady T, and to everybody's surprise every cut and bruise were instantly healed. But that was not what shocked everyone. The most change in appearance in Hinata was a single white feathery chakra wing that was sprouting from the left side shoulder of her back, along with the lavender tattoo-like marks surrounding her eyes, radiating calm and soothing light to the extent that instead of crying the baby was giggling happily. Overall, Hinata was looking very angelic. Then suddenly Hinata's hands stopped glowing and her eyes turned to their previous appearance. Hinata fell on the ground unconscious. Then the wind daimyo entered into the room and saw his wife and child in perfect health. But the most stunned were the hospital staff, especially the senior medic Neens, who left the patient losing all their hopes. Hinata was shifted to a nearby room for treatment. Soon the hospital was filled with happiness and joy. The wind daimyo's child and wife were both saved. There were several kind of thoughts and minds. The wind daimyo were very thankful to Suna for their treatment. A few hours ago they all had lost hope, but the miracle surgeon turned to events from sorrow to cheering with happiness. Soon greetings started coming from all over Suna for the newborn baby and his parents. A few hours later in the council meeting chamber, all of the Suna council, the Kazekage and the wind daimyo were gathered because the wind daimyo had some announcements to make. Soon the daimyo spoke, breaking the ice. Today was the day when we became father. The joy of parenthood is immense, which can't be described in words. To attain the happiness, the Sand Village helped us a lot. A few days ago we were thinking of hiring Tsunade, the Godame Hokage of Hidden Leaf Village in Fire Country, for the treatment of our beloved wife. Then we were thinking why we don't have someone like her. The case of our wife was truly complicated to the extent that every doctor in Wind Country had lost their hopes. We were on the verge of losing of our wife as well as our unborn offspring. But the surgery here last night changed our worry to our happiness, for that we are most thankful. Hence we are increasing the budget of Suna from 35% to 60%. The room was filled with several sounds of thank you, Daimyo-sama. When everything was subsided, the daimyo continued, but among them there was this 14-year-old surgeon, apprentice of Lady Chio, who played the most vital role when everyone, including Lady Chio herself, had lost their hopes. Yet she kept on trying. Hence she was finally able to save 2 lives who are too precious to us. Hence we are giving additional 10% funding to directly the hospital of Suna to further increase their resources to create such miraculous young medics. At this, Chio's ears perked up, thinking about all she could do with this extra funding to improve the hospital. Now I would like to call Surgeon Hinata to be presented in front of the council. The doors slowly opened, and in came Hinata very nervously. She came to the middle of the room and stood facing all council members. We are very pleased with your efforts, young surgeon. Being 14 years old never stopped you from trying to save a life where many experienced people failed. Hence by the authority as the Wind Daimyo, we, Shinjen no Rei, approve your medical degree certificate, and hence appoint you as the chief surgeon in the Suna hospital. Now for saving the 2 very important lives to us, we want you to ask anything you wish, and we shall fulfill it. The council room fell silent to listen to the demand of Hinata. After a few seconds Hinata spoke. Daimyo-sama. I am a temporary kunoichi in Suna. My aim was to learn everything I could about the medical field. I want to pursue it in my whole life in order to save as many lives as possible. Hence, I would like 2 things. First of them is the permission to go through the high-security forbidden scrolls which can save a lot of lives. Those scrolls are under the protection of His Excellency himself, and those are in your palace I have heard. Hinata looked up to saw the smiling face of the daimyo who said continue. We are listening. Secondly, if it is possible I would like to leave Suna to travel all over the world to learn more, and I don't want to be a missing knee neither. Hence I need the approval of His Excellency to continue on my journey after my probation period in Suna is over. Along with that I want permission to enter Suna whenever I want to be back in Suna. Hinata finished. She had a lot of thoughts in the past few hours about her accomplishments, and her ever-growing reputation as the top medic of the younger generation. While coming to the chambers she also overheard the talks of 2 counselors discussing to permanently establish her as the San Kunoichi. So she got worried, but when she heard the daimyo she immediately found a way to the solution. So she demanded it in front of the daimyo. The counselors erupted at this, thinking about losing a valuable kunoichi. Several protests of no, we can't allow her to leave Suna. She is just 14 and already our topmost surgeon. She has the potential to become the finest medic to ever live in all elemental nations. And please don't allow her to leave Suna. Please don't think about that, daimyo-sama. Could be heard all around the room. After a long period of commotion the daimyo's voice raised. Silence, the daimyo ordered, and suddenly all commotion inside the room subsided. A very noble thought to serve all the mankind. A very noble thought indeed, yet at such a young age. You, Miss Hinata, will grow to be great someday if you think of saving lives rather than killing like a lot of ninjas present in this hall do. Well, thinking from all prospects, we the fire daimyo are agreed to grant your demands. Then he wrote the orders in a scroll and stamped it. This scroll contains our agreement of acceptance of all your demands. Take it. Hinata received the scroll and deeply bowed before the wind daimyo. She then left the council chambers with the proof of her victory in her hand. Finally, I am keeping up to my promises. When you come you will be happy, Naruto-kun. Where are you now? Were her thoughts when she left the Kazekage tower. Back with Naruto. Naruto woke up a week ago. He was weak. But soon he could find the people near him. So, first of all he introduced himself to Kaida and got to know her name. But after a week one day his body started to ache, and he became unconscious to everybody else's eyes. Only he knew that he was reseated into his own mindscape by the nine-tailed fox. Mei became worried, but Kaida explained her that it was the after effect of sudden awakening. But inwardly she too was worried about losing another, and probably the last of her clansmen. Inside Naruto's mindscape, Naruto walked in the sewer-like place again. He came face to face upon the nine-tailed demon fox. The fox was about to say something, but Naruto suddenly jumped into the cage to hug Kyubi. Naruto sat on the long snout and was holding the hair in there. Thank you for ball. You believed in me. So now on, no more bitching to you. And Naruto stood up, straightening his hands to greet Uzumaki. Naruto. Nice to meet you, the great Kyubi no Ksun. Hope you are not gonna devour me for real. He. Suddenly Kyubi started to shrink. Naruto got misbalanced and fell down on top of his head, but as it was his mindscape he didn't get hurt. When Naruto got up he saw a tall man with more than 9 feet height stood upon in front of him. The garments and jewelry on him were looking expensive. The man had 2 unusually slitted crimson eyes. On his head the hair was like crimson fire. But the noteworthy thing was the 9 distinct tails waving from his back. All in all the man looked majestic, elegant, yet at the same time powerful. Hey, now who are you? Where is that stupid fox? I was about to shake hands with him. Maybe he went inside the cage. Looking inside the cage, Naruto called loudly, hey Furball, where are you? Man, come out. If you don't like the name then I won't call you that, fingers crossed. I promise we will be best of the friends. And I don't go back on my words because that's my nindo. The tall man's right. I was twitching at the foolishness of Naruto. He thought maybe you have awakened the strongest of the dojutsus, my father's eyes. Yet you are not changed, the same stupid brat that is unfortunately is my host. The man sighed and told, look here kid. I am the one who is sealed inside of you, but as now you are free from the effect of sealing and as we are trying to communicate, I would introduce myself. Hagoromo Kurama. Nice to meet you too, the man replied, and Naruto shook hands with him. That's good and all, but where is Kyubi? He has to give some answers about what happened to me and wait. You. Naruto spoke more like asked. Kyubi smirked, looks like he figured it out. Maybe he is not so dense after all. He is maybe smarter, but he cursed himself for thinking of a Naruto not dense after hearing next words. Maybe he is much denser than what I first thought. Who are you? Where is that fox? Hey, and what are you doing here in my mind? How you entered in here? He started asking. Hold on. Look, kid. I want to make clear that I am the Kyubi no Kitsune. But Hagoromo Kurama is my humanoid form. The man that was now identified as Kyubi snarled. Naruto was stunned with the revelations. Hence he did the one thing logical. Thud, and Naruto fainted. To be continued. What if Konoha regrets banishing Kid Naruto? And thanks for watching my video till the end. if you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.